hands.
I don't need it. I'm going to sit on my hands right now.
Hey, everybody, shut up. We're live now. So I can introduce the show. Welcome to the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Magative, but not really, because I'm not actually the person who runs this podcast. Although this is my second week in a row introducing the show. So anyway, welcome to Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. I'm actually new to the show as a permanent member, so I have no fucking idea what number this is. I couldn't care less, actually, honestly, because numbers are not important to me. I just don't care.
I don't think we number them at all.
So anyway, whoa, who was playing that shit in the background? Why? This is the second week in a row this shit has happened to me.
Oh, John's having technical difficulties.
Dude, seriously. What? It's a fucking conspiracy to make me look bad on this podcast. I'm telling you. Come on now. What the hell was that? Anyway, welcome to. You know what? I don't care. Welcome to the show. Okay, everybody's here. Let's talk about video games.
Take two.
Yeah, take two. Yes, take two. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Inglorious Neutrals, otherwise known as the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. And you know what? I'm pretty fucking excited. We got a great panel tonight. We have make a quick introduction, everyone here. We got Bmuny from the Inner Circle Podcast.
Money. Yeah, back again, man. I appreciate you guys having me back on.
Bmuny, we love having you on, man. We really do. And you're gonna have to share some of your E3 Bethesda stories. I got this. I got a little bit from Anchorman the other night on Xbox Live with Mike.
Yeah.
So later on, you're gonna have to.
I heard that after party was lit.
I heard that
Yes,
after
it
party
was.
was the place to be. Yeah. So you have to share those later on.
I will.
And we have returning the First Lady of Gaming, someone who is so knowledgeable at gaming, the guru of gaming, Miss.
The Guru S.
Yeah, the Guru S.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Bella Ryse of Real Gaming Media. Bella, welcome back. It's been forever since we've had you on.
Well, thank you for that intro. That was a little over the top, but thank you nonetheless. It's lovely to be back.
That's not even a fraction of what I'm capable of.
Oh my God.
We're met.
Alrighty.
Congratulations on the RGM merger. That was very cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it was something that took a lot of thought, and we just decided that it was in everybody's best interest, more so even the community's best interest, for us to join forces so that we can bring you 24/7 news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited for you guys. Website looks great, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell you put a lot of effort into that website. But no, all joking aside, it looks great, Bella. Congratulations to you guys. Definitely look forward to, reading what you guys put out. I do visit the website to get my gaming news. So yeah, congratulations again, guys. To you too, Eric,
thank you.
as you're part of this too.
Yeah, Eric, that's right. You as well.
Yeah,
I'm somewhere in there.
Eric's in there.
He's in there.
Yeah, Eric's in there.
Now I remember when Mike brought it up to me that he was gonna put RGM together, and to see where it's gone now, man, it's great stuff.
Yeah, I gotta say, Mike is definitely a brother from another mother, man. He was definitely one of the guys that helped start Tick in the beginning. So to see what he's doing now, you got to appreciate all the effort he's put into it and congratulate him on.
Yeah, no, I'm real seriously. No, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, in the twilight years of Mike's life now, I'm really happy that he's been able to. Yeah, good. Going out on a high note.
That was funny when you were going with that.
Yeah, it was funny. That was good. And without further ado, Mr. Mike Mullis of Next Level Gaming,
who turns out is
did
not.
you get a haircut, Mike?
I did.
Look at you, man.
Finally, man. I had band gigs this weekend. I had to look good.
Got a little shape
Well, I was
up
thinking
going
it looked like you'd actually brushed this week, but it's a haircut. Very nice.
Every once in a while, when I wash my hair, it turns out right for a day or two. Yes.
So, Mike, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, man. Kind of late notice.
Yeah. Well, it's I'm exhausted, so why not spend a couple hours on on your podcast, Enrique.
You know what the best part of it is? You get to spend a couple hours with John.
Oh, I'm looking so forward to it.
Bring it. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Hello, John.
Hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
Should we even be here for this?
I don't know, Bella. Good point.
That's you guys don't even know about Basement Radio Arcade After Hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That happens
The
at
after
midnight.
party.
The after party.
Although I have to say, Enrique,
Yes.
I found the lost tapes of you, me, and Worry Ward after one of the NLG podcasts. I forgot that we were recording for another 20 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh, my God. Yes. We were on the floor.
Video game happy time.
Yeah.
Turns out I still have that recording.
Dude, you got to dump that recording, man. That's blackmail. You could use that against us.
Well, that's the whole point.
No.
I've been telling Worry if he doesn't get back on NLG, I might have to go out to everybody.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out to Senor Worrywart, who has made it back to the Twitters. Good to see him back on there.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Worry.
Another one of us neutrals.
Yes.
Well, I'm just glad the internet didn't beat him down. You know,
Dude, he's too strong for that to happen, man.
I know, man.
That's the problem. He was carrying the weight of the lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
He was.
It really
His
was.
nickname is Azure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Glad
Worry.
Worry's on notice though, because I'm catching up.
Not even close.
Catching up.
That's not close, man.
Not even
Sorry,
close.
John.
That's so cute.
mean,
Bella said it's cute.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I hear that quite often.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, video games. Let's talk.
All right. Well,
Games.
Yeah, games. And actually, I want to go ahead and introduce my fellow co-host, Eric Jackson.
What's up, everybody? Sorry I missed last week. Happy to be back.
Yeah, man, we're happy to have you back, brother, man. We missed you last week.
Yeah, missed you guys too.
Yeah, and Eric taught me a valuable lesson this week that not everyone in South Beach or Southern Florida is driving Ferraris, Lambos, and/or Bentleys, and/or has cocaine on their nose.
Yes.
So thank you for that, Eric.
Yes. Yeah, no problem. No problem.
if you look at his avatar, though, you know where his nose should be. There's no, the sand.
Alligator accidents. Alligator accident. Yeah, we have alligators climbing fences. I mean,
That's true.
It's true, man.
The whole state's got to get the hell out of there.
Fuck you guys are feeding those alligators over there, man. Those things are no joke.
Well,
So those video games.
Yes, those video games.
Video games about alligators.
Yeah, about alligators. Yeah. And without further ado, we have John, Mr. Negative. John, welcome back, man.
Alligator Kong.
Yeah. John's also the co-creator, co-host of the Super Deformed Gamecast, which goes live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. You like that plug?
I do.
Wait,
actually.
it's the now? What the hell is everybody making the for?
Super Fun Gamescast, which I will point out, we are for real this time welcoming Kyle Bossman on the show this Thursday.
Nice.
Oh, that's going to be a good show, man.
Wait, you're still
We're ready.
podcasting? I thought you quit.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
I'm just
Yeah.
checking.
You must have been
He's
reading
like the
comments on our
Bee Gees.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that, Bella?
Coming back. He's like the Bee Gees, just keeps coming back after retirement.
Yeah.
Bee Gees.
I'm more like a yeast infection that won't go away.
Oh, Jesus.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And on that note,
Exactly.
Hey.
Good night.
This is only beer number 2.
All right, let's talk video games, guys. So
Games.
this weekend, John and I actually got to try. Well, let me ask you, who's tried VR here?
yeah.
I tried the Oculus when it was in like pre-production before it became the Rift that it is of today.
Hey, be my name to interrupt you real quick. We have Al Alcoholic, our third
Oh,
co-host.
he's in here.
Yes, the drunk cat. Al, what's up, man?
How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm a
What's
little
up?
Hey,
late.
kitty cat.
Hey, buddy.
He jumped in just meow.
Bella, did you just call Al Kitty Cat?
She did call him kitty cat.
Bella, let's get something straight, okay? Okay, look, this is my first podcast with you. Only I call Al Kitty Cat.
Hey,
Okay,
call me kitty
Can I
cat.
call him pussy? No, that doesn't work either.
You motorboat him, you motorboat son of a bitch.
Motorboat son of a bitch.
You don't sail him.
Video games, okay, video games.
All right.
Yes. So, B Money, you were saying you have tried VR.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't the greatest experience when I first tried it. It was, like I said, it was in pre-production, but I could definitely see where it was going. And I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, yeah.
You saying you tried the original Oculus Rift, like the DSK2?
Yes.
Yeah, so have I. That was booty as hell. It's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so Al, you tried it.
Yeah.
Any,
I only tried the original. I didn't try the updated one that they're releasing now that they're selling.
well, isn't it that version of Oculus, if I'm not mistaken, is actually Gear VR now, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Eric, have you tried VR?
I have not. I didn't get a chance to get over to Best Buy over the weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not a real gamer.
You gotta get that Bmuny out, man.
Because you're too busy being a neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Bella. Bella, have you tried VR?
I have, yes.
Oh, and what was your experiences like with VR?
So I tried the Gear VR that comes with the new Samsung, and I thought it was amazing, considering that it's like pretty much one of the bottom forms of VR that's available out there at the moment. It was really immersive. I was very impressed with it, which just gives me massive amounts of hope for all the other devices coming out, like the PSVR on October 13th. That's
Say hello?
something I can't wait for.
Awesome.
Say hello, son.
Hey.
Look right there. In the camera.
Hey.
Who are you?
Hello, son.
Hey,
He can't hear you through
Hey,
my
Mike,
Hi,
son.
Mini Mike.
Mini Mike.
as my
Mini
boy
Mike.
Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey,
you got
Jacob,
more,
what's up,
you have
buddy?
more hair than your father.
Oh.
Good night, child. Go, my child.
Go, my
Get out
child.
of the room, Mike.
Go.
Why are you speaking to him like it's a
Mike,
biblical
Mike, I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet your grandchild.
That was his great grandson.
He's cold.
You are savage, John.
back in my day, we didn't have all these Xbox Elite controllers.
Yeah, man. We had one button.
We had we only had 2 buttons and a start and a select button. These aren't my video games.
Oh my goodness.
So VR.
VR, yes. Well, I don't know, where were we? Who's next?
I think I was actually.
Well, no, Mike, you haven't tried VR, have you?
Mike hasn't tried VR.
I have. Well, the only VR I have ever tried was Gear VR. My boss at work got one for his Android, brought it in. I have the same phone he has, so I was able to clip it on and check it out. I remain unconvinced at the moment.
I see.
So,
Well,
sorry, I can expand upon that if you wish.
I was hoping you might expand on why you're not convinced.
I don't think Mike's gonna change his opinion. If
Mike's like, it's fucking dog shit.
Mike says I'm not convinced on VR because it's stupid.
Try using some of those descriptive words I know you've got in your vocabulary, Mike. Let's see if you can get warmed up.
Let's see. Descriptive words. Dog shit. No, I don't know. I'm still.
It's a total shit waffle. How about that, Mike?
There you go.
Shit waffle.
Shit waffle. That's
Nice.
such a great term. I still remain a bit unconvinced. I'm not. VR can be an experience. That's fine and dandy, but so far nobody's been able to really, put it into great game yet. So I've heard that one of the demos was a great little shark demo. But a couple of people I know who have tried it said, okay, well that's great, but then what are you really doing? I'm just watching a fish tank from VR. And so I don't know. I'm not quite ready to throw down hundreds of dollars yet on an experience. I want to see where it's going in gaming.
Yeah. John, you got to try PlayStation VR this weekend. What were your thoughts, man?
All across the board. I'll say this much. So the headset itself is extremely comfortable. Extremely comfortable. It fits well. I didn't experience any discomfort while wearing it. There's no pinching. So and it feels solid. Like it doesn't feel like a toy. I put it on. I played Eve Valkyrie. So right off the bat, one, it is very immersive. It's very cinematic. I did notice some screen door effect in the VR itself. And for you guys who don't know, Al, you're coming in really soft, by the way, man. But for anybody who doesn't know what the screen door effect is, it's really simple. Just imagine like pressing your face up to a screen door and looking through it. You can see like kind of like the little grate,
space
you know,
around the pixels.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the best. Visually,
it's like looking at an 800 by 600 window on your PC.
Yeah, there you go. Visually, it was fine. It was good. The head tracking seemed to work.
Uh-oh.
We lost John?
Is it just me or is everybody dropping?
And Mike.
I think we just...
Hold on.
Uh-oh, they got him.
No.
They got him. What happened?
I don't know. Hold on.
I think Enrique was trying to turn up my mic.
I think I was, and
I had my mic away from my head. That's all it was.
Okay. I see. I may have.
And you muted both of them.
I may have muted them and then booted them out by accident.
Oh, Enrique.
Yeah, I'm a
What you get for being a neutral?
Typical neutral move.
Right?
Oh, shit.
I need
Apparently it's telling John that he's not allowed to join.
Now. Yeah, right.
You might need to send him a fresh invite because it's telling him he's not allowed to join.
Oh, shit. All right. Hold on.
Oh, God. So no one else other than Enrique has tried VR? PSVR?
No, I was going to go out for the demo this weekend, but I missed out.
Yeah, same. I was busy this weekend. I had the opportunity to go check it out. I'll probably check it out next weekend because I'm doing 4th of July shenanigans this weekend.
Yeah, same here. Family stuff.
Yeah. I'm really curious. I heard from 3 friends from separate locations, one near Delaware outside of D.C., I guess, and then one was at the New York City event, and they all said the same thing that John was saying, like really comfortable. The games were immersive, but there was like technical issues, but they said that they overall that they liked it, but they just didn't understand. They didn't not understand, but they just didn't feel that it was worth like hundreds and hundreds of dollars at launch. But these are also people who don't game. I sort of actually bribed one of my friends to go and check it out because I couldn't and give me his response. So so these are people who occasionally play video games, but they wouldn't sit on a Tuesday night and talk to people about video games on a YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt, but they all did have to say good things about the build of the set, the PSVR set. They said it was nice. I actually heard that they didn't like the Shark Tank demo. One of them liked E-Valkyrie, one of them liked the Shark thing. They all liked Battlezone, though. I guess that was the big unifying experience for all 3 of them. So I really got to check that game out. I also heard from one of my buddies on Twitter, Carl, who tried it out in England. He really liked Battlezone as well. So I think that might be like a game to check out if you have the opportunity. It sounds like the most positive feedback is coming from that game. But
I think the one game that I really want to check out in VR was the Resident Evil.
That would be cool.
God. Did you play the demo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. So for some reason, PlayStation wouldn't let me install it. It kept telling me that I didn't have PSN, which I do. But I was online with a friend at the time, so he share played it with me and gave me control of his controller. And I literally could feel the fear in the pit of my stomach. Like it was... my heart was racing, my hands were shaking.
Oh, man.
At the end of it, I threw the controller down. I'm like, take it back, I don't want it anymore, take it back.
Yeah, I think it had a creepier sense than PT did.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even know. I don't even know if I could do that in VR. I'm just being honest. I don't even know if I could go there.
I've actually heard that one made a few people sick, though.
Yeah, there was an article going around. I think Kotaku first reported that the game was causing, even people who've tried numerous VR games, it was causing some sickness, some nausea.
If you couple dual analog movement, like normal first-person controls say, with your head movement, for whatever reason, it throws your equilibrium way off. So that could probably be the problem. I don't know how they're going to figure out moving in space as far as like if you have a room, like if you have a designated room for VR, that's awesome, but I'm sure most people aren't going to have a designated room for VR. They're going to have a living room or an office or their bedroom. So it's going to be difficult to try to navigate real-life obstacles like walls and moving around. But I don't know. I'm curious. Oh, one of the guests we have, actually one of our hosts on the Super Deformed Gamecast, Forget Amnesia, Doc, was at... where did he go? Did he go to... It was PAX? Was it... Oh, man, where's John? He went to an event, but he got to try out all these VR games. And he said the same thing. There wasn't a lot of games that let you move around the environment free will because they took away that controller issue by just removing everyone's controller. So they basically had you in stationary demos. And there's only certain games that could work, you know. For me, thinking about it as a guy who hasn't tried very many VR things, I mean, I don't know how you do a real-time strategy game with a VR headset and no control. I don't know how you do, you know. It just seems like there's a lot of cockpit games that could come out, and yes, by all means, it'll be the coolest driving game, coolest flying game that you have, but I want more than driving games, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to get sick playing Resident Evil.
Right. Right, exactly.
But I definitely, I think maybe if they limit, like, your head tracking, so to speak, while you move the dual analog stick, it might work, but I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the toughest problem to solve, simply because, you know, just even playing the demo, you constantly are just looking around, you know, see if something's moving. If you hear like some weird sound, you know, if they change the head tracking on it, that could be pretty difficult, I think.
Wow.
Because I know even when I like went upstairs and like one of the mannequins like moved from like one side of the room to the other, like I swung the camera, you know, just playing it, you know, with the controller. I could imagine, you know, just hearing like creepy sounds or, you know, something falling behind you.
Oh, you got the headset spinning around like crazy.
You know, so I don't know what they would do to change that, but I guess that's, you know, probably the biggest problem to solve.
Enrique, are you there?
He's trying frantically
He's
with
trying.
some.
Yeah, you know what, guys? So
harness.
here's the situation. We might have to restart the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can't have two people that have put aside their evening to come and chat with you gentlemen sitting there not being able to get back in because Noob the Neutral here kicked them.
Now, you know what, though? Seriously, I mean, because I can't get him back in. I kicked him out by accident. So it's like, yeah, totally Noob the Neutral thing. So for those who are listening, we're going to restart this. We'll send out links again. And I'm just going to have to edit this when the videos load up on YouTube later on.
And in the meantime, please feel free to take to Twitter and start hashtagging Noob the Neutral.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, wait, John's in.
I'm going to have to do a drawing of that
John's
character.
back.
John, how did you get back
I
in?
thought you could keep me down.
John, how did you get back in?
I was going to say, I don't think you need to restart the podcast. They just need to join again. That's all.
No, I came in the back door.
Oh boy! How did you do that? You might want to explain that to Mike.
I have 2 Gmail accounts.
Oh, you do?
Oh, so you joined on a different account.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike still can't get in.
Yeah, Mike can't get in, and I don't think he's got another. Let's see if he's.
Yeah, and I tried to invite him too, and it didn't. He couldn't get in.
He should make a Gmail account really quick.
Yeah, just make a Gmail account real quick. Seriously,
Jacob's grandfather.
Welcome to live TV, people.
Yeah, this is live fucking TV. Well, this is what I get for trying to mess with the control room, and as Bella said,
you did something.
Mike's in. He's in. Look at him. He's in.
Okay,
Yeah, I sent him a link by Twitter. I was hoping if I sent it to him, it might work.
That's weird as shit. I'm actually in under a different account. Like this is, I'm not in under my NL Gaming account. I'm in under. I have a YouTube account that I use for my band videos, and I'm in on that. and I lost 25 subs.
Are you gonna sing at us?
Wow.
Yeah, what's up with that? That's crazy. John,
Yeah.
you said you lost 50.
I lost 50. Yeah, we lost 50 subs.
And there's a couple guys that I'm reading on Twitter, some friends of mine that are losing them too.
Yeah, I
Is
lost
it
them
real
too.
subs? Is
I
it real
found out-
subs, or
I
is
found out
YouTube
why.
trying to clear out bots?
YouTube is purging inactive accounts.
Oh, that's all it is, and that's a shame because
Yeah,
that
but what
affects
does that have to
everybody.
do with why? I mean, when I got bumped off, it said there was an authentication issue. Then when I tried to get on, it literally said you cannot join this call.
Yeah, because you got kicked by Noob the Neutral, and you had to come back in and.
And kicked you from the
Certain
podcast.
other people aren't going to take.
Glorious neutral. I got
certain other people take issue with our oath of neutrality.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was trying to turn up Al's volume, and like he's
And you
I just
not,
had my
accidentally
microphone
kicked me
away
off
from
your
his
podcast.
face.
That's what happened.
and he's not. But he's not on. He's not. I don't see him in the control room. You know, because there's control rooms. There's me, Bmuny, Eric, now Bella, and then Al. But I can't see like you or Mike. I can see you or John. So
You can't see us at all.
Stealth mode.
That's because I'm
Well,
a
the
shadow.
good thing
I'm a
is
shadow
that this is live, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear about our issues with the control panel. Oh no, they don't. They want to be hearing about games. So let's get back to games.
all right. So we were talking about VR, and John, you were talking about your experience.
Go.
You were eating a sub sandwich, playing PlayStation VR. The rep yelled at you, told you to put the fucking sub down. You punched him in the balls, and then something else happened.
Basically, yeah. That's just a Tuesday for me.
Did you give him some walking before you?
I said, give me the headset and let me play some VR. But no,
I have a question real quick, John and Enrique. How was the harness cables?
I didn't notice them.
I didn't notice him either.
Okay,
Honestly,
But I want John's
Yeah,
impressions first. I'll give you mine in a sec. But go ahead, John.
So here's the deal. There have been a lot of people saying, PSVR is going to run shit on a vanilla PS4. It doesn't. It runs just fine. I'm sure it will look better on a Neo, but it runs. It's obviously it wasn't running on a Neo. It was running on a base PS4, and it ran fine. I didn't encounter a single stutter. There was, and for VR, that's key. That's really important. Because everything has to be between 60 and 90 frames per second, I believe.
At
is the
least,
mandate from Sony.
yeah.
And
It has to be 60 minimum is what they mandated.
The fact is, it has to run that fast, or else it looks like terrible slowdown for the human eye. It has to run at 60 frames or faster.
Yep, exactly. So I really I don't know. Is it something I would pick up on day one? Probably not, simply because I don't see myself gaming for. I play games for hours, I may be a neutral, but I'm a hardcore gamer. I play games for on average. I play every night. I play every single night, and I usually play for between 3 or 4 hours, right? Because I'm a huge fucking nerd. And I don't see myself sitting around for 3 or 4 hours on the couch with a headset on. I just don't.
Sweat build up behind the glass,
Yeah, and my friends coming over and hanging their balls in front of my face while I got this on, and I'm just not a fan. Having said that, I think in a year or two, this technology is going to be really amazing. And I think that Sony, in the end, and anybody who has invested in VR 5 years down the road is going to be really happy they did, because the applications for this go way beyond video games. But yeah, for $399, I think it's probably worth it. Is it worth a day one purchase for me? Alongside the Neo? No. I mean, given the choice, I'll pick up the Neo. But I can see the appeal. That's pretty much what I think about it.
Well said, sir. Well said. Well said.
Well, what do you think, Enrique?
Well, I got there about 11:30. Those guys were still setting it up. I was a little pissed off because I was on borrowed time. I was running errands. I had to go to Home Depot, hoping to get to Bed Bath & Beyond, only if there was time, of course. And so they set up and everything. No one caught that, but they set up.
I got it.
Trying to get to the Beyond section.
Did you go into? Oh, damn it!
Oh, here's where the mugs are.
Exactly. So, I sat my neutral ass down on the chair, and so here's the thing. So I get there, right, and it's funny. I'm talking to Worry Word on text message, and I'm like, dude, Worry, like, I'm here at the PlayStation VR experience, and he's saying to me, oh yeah, tell me how it is. Let me know if you like it, if you think it's a day one purchase. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm texting, I'm like, you know what, dude? They're unboxing this thing here, and there's a fucking there's this black like trash can next to the seat, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, like, is this is this for barfing? Like, what's going on here, right?
Oh wow, probably.
Yeah, so I take a picture and I sent it to Worry, and he's like, dude, that's for barfing, and
crazy.
Yeah.
That is not the image that you want to have.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Just in case. We have a splatter-proof trash can next to you.
Yeah. In case you barf.
Yeah, just in case you get sick, we're gonna put this right next to you. So, I sent it to Worry, and he's like, oh, dude, that's totally for barfing. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. So I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, excuse me, I'm like, is this bucket? Is this for barfing? He's like, oh, no, it's just for trash. I'm like, okay. So I text Worry back, like, the guy's telling me for trash. Like,
playing VR. I got a bunch of stuff in my pockets.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Throw out my sub wrapper and then put it in VR.
Exactly.
In this small, tiny bucket for trash.
Yeah, right. That's so funny.
So I'm sitting there texting Worry, and I'm telling him the guy, and so now we're on Twitter, right? And Worry's tweeting the stuff out. I tweeted the picture out. People are like, oh, that's totally for barfing.
Yeah.
And so I finally get it set up, and the guy puts the headset on my head, and to John's point, let me tell you something. This thing fits perfect. And let me tell you, I got a pretty decent sized head, and you know what I mean, like
the size of that boy's head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I'm smart. I have a big brain. Most neutrals have big brains, by the way. So, John, you look like you're staring at something.
I am lost in thought. I'm also looking at my Twitter feed right now.
Okay, John's like,
hello.
Yeah. Where's Roach? So I put the thing on my head, and to John's point, it was really comfortable. And it seemed like pretty easy to adjust. There's this button that you push on like the bottom part of, I guess, the lens that kind of, I guess, slides it in and out.
The guy wouldn't let me do that though, Enrique.
He wouldn't let
you in my own head.
He didn't let you slide it in and out?
No, dude, I reached up. Well,
what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about.
So on top of that, did they actually let you adjust the headset?
Yeah, well, not only he didn't let me slide it in and out, but I reached up to like adjust the headset, and he goes, whoa, he goes, hey, I got that, and I was like, whoa, all right, dude, sorry, shit, I'm not gonna, all right, my bad, man, like, and like I could feel like every time I reached over to try to touch it, like I could feel him tense up, like I could feel him, I could feel him go, ooh, he's gonna fucking touch that VR headset, and I'm like. Dude, you alright? Like, shit. Fuck. Oh, dude, it was weird. It was weird. He did not want me touching it. I don't know why.
Dude, he would have been. He was like the VR Nazi, That's
he was,
good.
Dude. Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah.
It was disconcerting.
So I put the thing on my head, right, and it's comfortable, and I'm adjusting the thing with the button. The guy's like, and one of the things I noticed early is like it was a little blurry, and like you have to like adjust it up or down to get rid of the blurriness. And actually, John, like you, I tried. The first game I played was Valkyrie because I heard so many great things about it, and I got it. The game started, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like it felt like it did feel like I was in the cockpit of the spaceship or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm reading what Bella just typed. Bella, thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
You might have to type that. I'm sorry. So I get in the cockpit, and I'm like looking around. Mike's shaking his head. Mike, I'll mute you, old man.
That's the best you got. John, can you work with him?
Yeah, I'll work on him.
So
when you were playing Valkyrie, did you feel like you were the last starfighter?
Oh, nice reference.
I had a Playboy under my bed.
Actually, as soon as I took the headset off, some guy walked up to me with a handkerchief and wiped his face off, and he was an alien. I was like,
Oh my god,
dude,
I knew it.
that's fucking crazy. Yeah, no, it was a cool experience. You know.
Yeah, no, it was cool. And so, you come out of the tunnel and you go into space. And actually, the whole time, like I was kind of, I did engage in the battle a little bit, but I was kind of like just like looking around. That's the other thing. You get distracted a little bit because
You were the worst starfighter.
I was the worst starfighter. My whole squadron was getting fucking smoked. And I'm sitting there looking around. I'm like,
oh, that's so cool.
I'm like, look at this.
And Enrique is looking around. He looks down. He goes, "Whoa, why am I a chick?"
That was a different VR experience, but we're not going to go there.
That was from the Naughty America booth.
Yeah, it was from the Naughty America booth.
I thought it was the Brazzers booth, but I don't know.
The Brazzers. Jesus. So where was I?
Brazzers.
Yes. No, but so I got distracted. And you know what's cool though? Like you could see like the explosions, like I could see it kind of like off to the side, and I would get distracted and stuff. And you do have to kind of get adjusted to the movement of the spaceship because you're kind of like I call myself kind of tilting my head a little bit when I was moving the plane upside down and stuff and right to left. So that was pretty cool. I mean. Visually, was it the best looking game I've seen this console generation? No, but
but it certainly didn't look like a fucking PS2 game at the same time.
No, it didn't, John. It didn't. Yeah, it didn't look like a PS2 game. It didn't look like a handheld. I didn't feel like I was playing Mario Brothers.
Well, you could understand most of those games are indie games. They're not on AAA budgets.
No, exactly, and so, but no, I'm saying like I understood like. The reason behind, and I understood that it's VR, it's running on the PlayStation 4 hardware. It looked good. I mean, it wasn't like terrible or anything.
My fear for VR, Enrique, is that we are going to be, and again, I say this as a huge Sony pony, but I'm not. I'm afraid that we're going to get shoehorned into what Sony has termed experiences as opposed to games. Because I mean,
but you know what, John? That's what they are though right now.
Yeah, I know, but it's like for example, Batman Arkham VR is apparently like an hour long.
Yeah.
An hour long.
And it's not a part of the main game.
And it's not. No, it's
Final Fantasy 15 VR thing as well is like a short little.
Yeah, it's like a little side trip. Now, granted, do I want to play Final Fantasy 15 in its entirety in VR? No, I don't.
Well, that's part of the issue I have. Go ahead, finish, because that's part of the issue I have.
I was going to say, it goes back to my point of, do I want to sit around for 3 or 4 hours with this headset on anyway? No, I probably don't. At least that may be for some people, but not for me. And like people were having issues with Resident Evil 7 apparently giving them motion sickness. Motion sickness aside, you have to assume that Resident Evil 7 is probably, if it holds true to other games, it's probably a 10 to 12 hour campaign. I'm not wearing this thing for 10 to 12 hours.
No way.
Not for a whole fucking game. No. And this is speaking as somebody who's used it. Like, no. I don't, and you guys tell me what you think. We know the release date for this thing. If the Neo does launch this fall, I don't understand that logic.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of money
sales of one will cannibalize the other, and you know what's going to happen is that the Neo will absolutely destroy the PSVR in sales. If they release these two within a month of each other, people aren't going to buy the VR. People are going to buy the Neo.
One analyst said that they're looking to ship 6 million of those.
No, that was like some hokey dokey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's
some potato head bastard.
Yeah. So my issue is you get shoehorn. You talk about shoehorn. I don't see where you can do VR with Tomb Raider, with Uncharted, with Horizon, with games that are third-person games. I don't see how VR can work for those.
Well, I don't think you're going to see those.
But that's my issue. You're stuck with first-person games and first-person games. I mean, literally anything that basically has a cockpit mode is what you're gonna
But that's kind of the whole point of VR, though.
Hold on.
Like that.
Yes and no. I mean, HoloLens showed us Minecraft, which is sort of like you can look at the world as you're making it. Which
Yeah, but
That's-
HoloLens is
different
vaporware.
tech-
That's never going to come out.
That's a what?
I hear HoloLens will never come out.
I don't think
I
it's
don't
gonna.
know.
I don't know if it's gonna come out in the gaming sector, but there are.
No. That's what I'm talking about in the gaming sector.
No.
You're not going to see a HoloLens application for the Scorpio or the Xbox One. It's not going to happen.
It's launching with the Luma Room.
right.
They're doing a holiday bundle with Scorpio.
Scorpio is gonna hitch a ride on Oculus. But the thing with the HoloLens doesn't do anything for me either. I don't care to look at the wall and play Halo or watch Mini Conquer run around my table. That doesn't do it for me either. When you're only able to do so much with it, that's where my concern runs into.
Mm.
And that's why I'm not as interested in it, because I'm not as first-person oriented as a lot of other people. I like those third-person action-adventure games, like Tomb Raider, like Horizon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So the scope of what I would buy for VR is very limited.
I think
Well, I
we'll
think
be
the reason
fine.
that I'm excited for it is that we know that we're at the beginning of this technology. This is the first iterations that we're going to see brought into the gaming realm, and we need to understand that everything can't happen all at once. There needs to be some things that will be available, and as time goes on, more and more and more will be added. And I think that if we can just accept that there's only so much that can be brought to the table on day one, and just be happy with that and give that a go and give it a chance to actually become a thing by getting behind it and supporting it, then we will see all of these other things coming into the our options that we have available, all these different game genres being brought in, all these different experiences being incorporated.
Well,
but we've got to get behind it and support it.
Yeah, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and people have to really pull back on that. The reason people have this notion is because they think day one it's supposed to be a knock out of the park home run. That's not what this is meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, and Bella made me think about people are saying that a lot of people are saying that VR is going to fail. I don't agree with that.
It's definitely not a fad.
It's not a fad. It's not a fail. I don't think the intent is not for this thing to sell like a console. The intent is for this thing to sell like a peripheral, which is what it is. It's not meant as a console replacement. Which goes back to Mike saying, that there's really no place for third-person action games for this. I agree with that, but that's because this is a peripheral. It's meant as something to complement your game experience as opposed to replacing your living room console. I don't think that's what that's not what the point of this is. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. It's not Sony. I don't think expects this thing to sell millions upon millions of copies the first year. I don't think that's the point.
No. John, real quick. So I agree with what you're saying in terms of the experience piece, and that it's something just to complement console gaming. Like when I was sitting there and I did the Shark Tank demo. And it's funny, there was a guy there, you could tell he's never gamed, because I think the Sony rep was talking to him, and he's like, I don't play video games. And he was doing the Shark Tank demo. This guy's like literally, he's turning around, like doing like a full, literally, you can just tell, like he's like moving his arms, like flailing his arms around.
That's who this is marketed to.
Yeah, and he jumped.
The guy he
jumped in his chair. He jumped. And somebody else on Twitter told me that he saw a teenager tap out in the Shark demo.
Tap out.
And that's the thing.
If the guy told me if you want out, you raise your hand and close your eyes.
Can you imagine the horror applications possible?
Let me tell you something.
The safe word is pineapple.
The horror genre is going to be...
Safety word.
My safe word is
pineapple.
My safe word is Johnny Rockets.
When you guys got dropped out, I don't know if either of you two, Mike or John, have had a chance to try the Resident 4 demo.
The Resident Evil 7
Resident
demo?
Evil 4 demo? Oh, 7 demo, yeah.
I was going to say, wait a minute. I played Resident Evil 7 on the GameCube. Four.
That demo that came out is meant to give you just on the general console, an idea of how they're going to be tackling it in VR.
Yeah.
And so you actually move quite sluggish, and I found that annoying on the controller. But the actual experience itself, I was telling the gentleman before, like I could feel the fear in the pit of my stomach. It was horrible. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like playing these horror games in VR. Like I don't even know if I could do it.
And
I might end up having a commentary.
Outlast in VR.
No.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
But I thought the Resident Evil 7 demo. If you guys have not played the Resident Evil 7 demo, it is brilliant.
Yeah, I played it. It's awesome.
I was a big fan.
It sucks, John.
Shut up.
It sucks. It sucks.
You suck.
Enrique, that Avon Barksdale GIF you sent me was hilarious, though, man.
Oh,
But
dude,
I
I'm
was
not playing that
"Are you
shit.
gonna
You think I'm playing, man? I'm not playing. B-Money saw that. B-Money saw that GIF.
That was perfect, though.
But you know what, Mike? I disagree with you on one point that you said like games like Ryse and Tomb Raider, but perhaps a VR game could make that game play in a first-person perspective as opposed to
I would want that, but that's just it. And that goes okay. So that goes back to making it an experience like Batman. I wouldn't want that. That loses. How in the world are you going to try to ice pick climb up a wall in first person mode? It just doesn't, that doesn't lend itself to that kind of mechanic.
Kind of maybe the same way that people ice pick climb up walls in real life.
Yeah, the odds of that actually. So now instead of using the controller, I'm going to have to grab those two damn wands and try to do that. That's not going to. That's not going to work like
the pet Mike.
That's not going to work like you think.
Okay,
Wait, hold on, John. Hold on, John. Bella's trying.
Hold on, Bella's
real quick.
trying to insult me. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you're worried they're going to make you exercise. That's your problem. You don't want to
man.
There it is.
Shot.
There it is.
Shots.
Don't worry.
Mike
I'll
was
get Mike
upset
to the
that
gym.
Mike was upset that Microsoft is getting rid of the exercise thing for the Kinect. So
That's a shame.
That is a shame. That was actually really cool.
No, it really wasn't.
Okay, like so real
Yeah, it
talk.
really was. I don't know what you're talking about.
You should be a man and get outside and exercise.
So real talk.
Dude, I have 3 kids. I get outside and exercise quite a bit. Thank you.
Come
like
exercise
excuses,
with me.
Mike.
We saw what happened with Wii remotes, right? Like launching into TVs. There's gonna be injuries, man.
Yeah, there.
I hope people have a care spot next to their house.
I hate to say this. John jokes around about VR and people teabagging people wearing VR headsets, but I could see that happening.
Oh, it's absolutely going to
Can you
happen.
imagine VR at a frat house?
Oh, dude.
Not a good
Look,
idea.
it's not going to be as cool as the cast of Star Trek playing the Star Trek command thing.
Yeah.
That's just not. That's not happening.
Yeah, but I'll say this though. I definitely think.
What do you guys feel about Bethesda jumping in the VR
I could care.
with Skyrim and Doom?
I'm excited about that actually.
And Fallout 4. Oh my God, Fallout 4 and 3. I need that in my life now.
Fallout 4, though, I can see. I mean, it's a first-person game. It's good. Yeah.
Bella, when I finished the PlayStation 4 VR demo, that's the first game that came to my mind. I'm like, I want this for Fallout 4 because.
Oh my God, how good is it going to be?
Oh, it's gonna be amazing, because of the sense of immersion that we just haven't ever experienced in console gaming. VR provides this, and it just and when I was thinking about Fallout 4, I'm like, holy shit! I can't imagine walking around the wasteland in Boston wearing VR. I would lose my mind. Yeah.
You can just drive up to Boston now.
And then walking into your coffee table.
60 hours in that game already, and once you bring VR in, like goodbye any other game. Like I can't wait. I was so excited. That was one of the things that I was most excited about out of all of the presses from E3 because I love that game. Oh my God, I love that game. It consumed me for months. 260 hours already. Haven't even finished it. Haven't even started Far Harbor DLC. I got like at least another 150 hours in that game, and that's even before VR.
Oh my gosh.
I really would like to get Fallout 4 at some point.
You need
It's
to get
so
it,
much
Mike.
goodness.
It's a good game. Disregard anybody who says
It's better than Dark Souls.
I haven't,
Yeah.
honestly, I haven't
Shut
heard
your
many
fucking
people.
mouth.
Hey, Mike, I just grabbed it for $20 at Best Buy. I don't know if they still have it available for that price.
Yeah,
but,
you know, it was on sale, Mike.
Yeah, I got it for
A
$20.
while ago.
$20 for $20, I might get it physical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recent
It's
updates
so
too.
worth
They really cleaned it up on the consoles too.
I'm so glad.
I'm a fan of Fallout 3, so it's just a matter of time. And honestly,
Yeah.
it boils down to time.
That's a big. Yeah, it's a big
That's
game.
yeah.
Why I didn't get Witcher. It's why I don't get those
Yeah,
games because I
even
don't.
in-
Oh, you didn't get The Witcher?
I
Oh,
do not
Mike.
have the time to invest in it.
Look,
You
Mike,
need
I
a
already
year. You need to
said-
take a year off. Get The
Exactly.
Witcher.
Right.
Mike, I already said I'll be playing those
You're off.
until
Jesus.
I'll be playing those until my daughter goes to college, and then in my will, she'll have to continue and finish those games for me.
I know, right? I have to
Don't
Witcher
fall out
3
at Witcher 3.
PlayStation 4. Scared to start it. Scared to start it.
You know,
So,
all that I've said about VR, I do want to make this point. I've made this point before. Just because I'm not interested in it does not mean I don't wish for it to be successful or to come out or
it's an
anything like
interesting,
that.
it's an interesting concept, Mike. It's
Spoken
foreign to
like
my-
a-
Yeah, well,
my
you
thought
know, I know.
process.
Very neutral of you.
I
It
know.
is very neutral of you.
I know.
Gotta
know,
watch out for neutrals like you, Mike.
Yeah.
I know, man. I'm lurking.
You're
You know,
unpredictable.
if you are into VR and you're in it day one, and there's a lot of people who are. There are a lot of people who are going to get it when it comes out. More power to you. I truly hope that you enjoy the experience. So my disliking it does not mean that I wish it to die. No.
Yeah, and
Actually,
those
I-
will be the people. Those will be the people that will be the mouthpieces to spread that word. 'Cause that's how it kind of works,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's going to convince everybody to come in. But on that note, Mike, you gentlemen will remember that the last time that we all had a podcast together, I actually brought along with me my Bella's financial savings for PSVR update. And obviously we're down the track a little bit more, so I've brought you an updated one for all of the listeners who are thinking about getting PSVR.
By the way, Bill, I thought this was brilliant when last time you did this because it
You
made
need-
too much sense.
You need to put this in spreadsheet form and send it out to the chat room.
Okay. So we have 106 days left until PSVR releases. Now, there's two different sorts. You can either just get the headset or you can get the bundle. So starting with the headset at $3.99 USD, you're going to need to be now, at this point, saving $3.79 per day, which works out to be $26.34 per week. If you put that away by release date, you'll have enough money for it. If you're looking at getting the bundle is $499.99, so effectively $500. You'll need to be saving from today $4.71 or $33 per week, and that will get you the entire the wands, the camera, everything.
Bill, let
Or
me
you
ask you
can
this.
Or you can just buy it like the day it comes out because you got mad money like me.
Yeah.
Smash
Just walk up to the cashier, throw hundreds at him.
If you're making
Make
a
a Smash video.
if you're making six figures a year like some people, maybe you can
What
just go
up?
get it day one.
What up?
Well, that's true. Maybe you could buy it for all the people that aren't making six figures that actually do have to squirrel aside the $3.71 a day.
Nah,
Let me ask
I'm
you-
good with that. I'm good with that.
Bella, let me ask you this. If you were given the choice between PSVR and PS4 Neo, which one would you buy?
I would actually go with PSVR because I've had absolutely no problem with my PS4 at the moment. It does everything that I need it to do. The UI is perfect. It works great. The variety of games is amazing. I don't need a new console in my life right now. I've got an Xbox One, PS4, and a PC. I don't need anything else. So I would be happy to get a new experience, which is the PSVR, as opposed to playing the same games on a different console.
So you're not going to pick a side then?
No, I'm not going to pick a side. I'll get both eventually, but if PSVR comes out first, which it will, I will get PSVR. And this isn't going to be an issue for me because I know that Neo isn't going to be releasing at the same time as PSVR. It would be absolute suicide for their sales. That's going to be something that they're going to do in 2017 to compete against Project Scorpio.
Probably around February or March, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh!
Ooh, off the cuff. What do you,
didn't hear it
Al?
from me.
Al?
You didn't hear it from me.
Off
What's
the
up?
cuff.
Ooh. Interesting.
I mean-
Al, do you want to?
We're dropping nuggets.
Do you want to expound upon that?
So they're trying to compete against the NX.
Well, someone made the comment to me that a certain someone was leaking specs about performance issues on NeoGAF. And this person is actually been verified by the mods Cyrus Black. And
that means nothing.
that's okay. I mean, even John had mentioned that he was like, being like wishy-washy. So I sent a direct message and asked him flat out. I was like, is your information accurate? Is any of this going on? And I got the tweet back. I got the message back from him saying just a link to his post. And what he posted was, expect it in February to March 2017.
Okay, Al. Here's what I'm. Okay, so there's been a lot of shit going on GAF about the Neo, and I'm one of those guys. I could give a shit about. Oh, Bella's thing just popped up on my screen. It took up the entire. Oh, holy shit!
I saw that too.
Welcome to podcasting with Bella.
But damn, what's up, Z Huge? There has been. I'm not one of those guys who focuses on power because I don't believe power is what sells consoles, and I personally don't know what's more powerful. Yeah. So, having said that, is this? And I couldn't tell you what the fuck a teraflop is. It sounds like something you catch in Thailand.
You don't know what teraflop is?
But yeah, it sounds like a wrestling move. Like he's simulating the teraflop from the top rope. Teraflop off the top rope. But.
Ooh, yeah.
What are you gonna do when the teraflops go wild on you?
Let me tell you something, brother.
Teraflops, brother.
Eat your vitamins. Take your teraflops.
But seriously, is this thing? Is it 4.2 or is it 5.5? Like, what's the deal? Because there has been so much back and forth about this.
The 5.5 has quietly gone away.
Has it?
That talk has subsided.
Gone completely away. I was talking strictly on time frame. I'm not talking about price. I'm not talking about teraflops. I'm not talking about the fact that ATI's graphics cards just came out, the GPU that is going to be used in something coming out soon, and it is pretty awesome and fits the mold for the exact same early specs that they were leaked, but I'm just going to say February to March seems like a likely candidate. I don't know how they're going to spin that, though, with VR coming out so soon, but it's like soon but not so soon. And that's like a good window to have. It's like, yeah, we have VR out. Oh, now that you have VR, you know what? Maybe we do have this coming out, too. So it might be just enough of a buffer to work, but I could see it not working. I know that's the worst wishy-washy answer ever. I'm just letting everybody know what I know.
Well, let me ask you this: if this thing launches in February, how much you want to bet you're gonna, or February, March, how much you want to bet you're gonna see a nice Horizon bundle?
Oh, you know what?
Oh, don't do that. See, don't do that because then I'd have to go out and fucking buy it.
No, I do. I'm in for Neo Day One. That's not even a question for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want to get Neo Day One because I want to save for Scorpio, but then it's like they throw in Horizon. Yeah.
I think
Scorpio's a year off, my friend. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let me tell you something.
I want a Scorpio.
I waited 15 years to get laid. I can wait for Scorpio.
I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna do this crazy thing. I'm just gonna buy Horizon.
I want a Scorpio, but I think that console is in trouble before it even releases.
What? Really?
Yeah, I do.
How?
I'll tell you why. And I'm sure people will say, "Oh, it's just because you like Sony."
Wait, hold on, John. Hold that thought for a sec because we're actually going to talk about Scorpio, so we can segue into Scorpio real quick. But I just want to ask everyone on the panel: PlayStation VR or just VR? Are you guys into this? Future
what
gaming?
Are you saying? Day one?
Yes,
or
day one.
Wait, or not at all?
One day maybe, but definitely not day one. Probably not year one for me.
Same answer.
Yeah, I agree with John.
Same here.
Need to see more.
I have like this is an off topic.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Bmuny.
No, I was gonna say I'll probably wait about 6 months. I got to see what the software is like. Once the software starts to hit, then got to determine my decision.
But Bmuny, how did you feel about Bethesda bringing Fallout into PSVR? I know you asked the question, but we didn't get your opinion.
Yeah, I thought that was a huge announcement, and I thought, with Bethesda being one of the bigger developers, publishers out there, I thought that was a huge step for them to kind of be, one of the leading third-party or AAA developers behind it. So I thought that was a huge step.
When did that happen?
What are you talking about? That they announced that. Yeah, they announced that at E3.
Yeah.
No. They announced it for Vive.
Right,
They didn't
which is
announce it.
VR.
Oh, I thought you said PSVR. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you said for a
just
second. I thought
VR.
you said for PSVR, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. When did I miss that one?
No. So I thought that was a huge move for
Yeah,
them
that
to even, put those big titles in VR. So I think you'll see a lot more AAA developers probably go that route, rather they use the Vive or Oculus or the PSVR. I thought it was a huge move for Capcom to come out and say Resident Evil would be able to be played fully in PSVR. So I think you'll see a lot more of that first-person gaming done on PSVR. So I mean, we'll see. I think it's probably the only way you'll see a lot of hardcore gamers go after it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll be one of those things that in about 2 or 3 years, only a handful of gamers are really still playing with it.
Yeah.
Right.
The one thing I was gonna say about VR too, I mean, there's other bigger implications with this technology. I mean, I think you're gonna see it at some point. You're gonna see social media creep into it. You're going to see obviously Hollywood. You're gonna see movies. I know Michael Pachter thinks that VR is going to have a bigger impact in Hollywood than it is actually the gaming industry.
So it'll have a bigger impact in the gaming industry than Hollywood, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Michael
Yes.
Pachter.
You have to reverse everything you
Man
say.
who's always wrong.
Yeah, but hey, look, this thing. If Naughty America is any indication of
Oh God.
a VR success, it's good. Look, seriously, I mean, all joking aside, I mean, porn makes new technology successful. It's historically
absolutely.
it's proven.
Yeah.
Look, porn decided VHS the Betamax battle. They went with VHS won. Porn went with Blu-ray won.
Yeah.
Porn
They went,
is
they went with DVD as well first.
They did go with DVD.
Yeah, they did.
And that's why that helped PS2. Believe
A
it or
lot
not.
of people
It
don't
helped.
realize this. Porn is the reason why we have the internet today.
Yep.
Yeah. I can see
Well,
that.
well, that's why it's still around. We have the internet because of the military, but that's another story.
That's another story. Yeah. Off the
No,
cuff.
I have a YouTube link that has verifiable proof that the internet was for porn.
And now
Anyway.
VR.
Anyways.
Anyway.
All right,
Anyway,
so let's
is that everybody's decision?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all just on the fence.
Well, Bella's back. So Bella, VR day one purchase for you, PSVR.
Absolutely, day one purchase. I've already paid it off, so that is definitely
Nice.
happening.
Through her
Um,
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Nice.
However, while we're still on the subject matter of VR, can I put in like a shameless plug?
No.
No.
go ahead.
I mean, yes.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm doing it anyway. So for anybody who happens to have a HTC Vive headset, there is a game available right now on Steam called Hotel Blind. And I actually had the luck of working with the amazing Christian Allen, who, if those of you who don't know who he is, he was actually the lead game designer on Ghost Recon and
Ghost
Halo
Recon,
Reach
yeah.
and many
That's
other
pretty
games.
awesome.
Yeah, so I actually had the honor of working with him and doing all the voice acting for his game called Hotel Blind. It's $1.99 on Steam right now, so
Wait,
Go
Bella,
check
you
it
did
out.
voice acting?
What's this called? What's it
There's a
called? Hold
star out
on.
here.
Hold on, what'd you say, B Money?
Hotel Blind.
I said Bella's
It's a walking simulator, and the whole idea behind it, actually there's a couple ideas behind it. So the first idea behind it is to put you in the shoes of somebody who is blind. Now, you may
Hotel
think
Blind.
that
Okay.
doing something like that on VR seems redundant because it's meant to be a immersive experience, but you can only actually get a really immersive experience from it in VR because you literally are caught in that space. So you have to navigate yourself around rooms like
A blind person?
any blind person in any
crazy.
unfamiliar territory, like a hotel room, for example. When they go there, they're not familiar with that territory. So it puts you in that position where you are having to be, function like a differently abled person and experience what it is to be in that situation. And you have to complete these different tasks to be able to finish the room. So that's the first premise behind it. And so what you'll do in that VR experience is every time you hit one of these different points that you achieve. You'll hear my voice prompting you and telling you what you're meant to be doing next. And then the other thing behind it is also to teach developers how they can actually quite quickly and easily create a game in the Unreal Engine 4 that is shippable. So it's, there's a couple of different premises behind it. But yeah, anybody who has HTC Vive, $1.99, go check it out, and you'll get to hear me say, "Welcome to Hotel Blind."
Nice. Now I got something else to talk to. I got something else to talk to him about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, real cool stuff.
Yeah,
there.
that's cool.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
So we doing some Scorpion news or what?
Well,
Scorpion.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Get over
That's
here.
Oh my God, you shameless neutral.
I am. I'm going to talk in my neutral voice. Hi, I'm neutral.
The Garrett
Hello,
neutral
Enrique.
Yeah. Have you seen Roach?
That actually sounds something more like from Wolf Creek, but yeah.
So we're going to
Margraith.
we're going to segue into Scorpio. So John, well actually, John, you had an opinion or a thought about Scorpio, and
Yeah. So
and we'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about some other Scorpio related news. But go ahead, man. What were you going to share with us, man?
So, I think I think the Scorpio is in trouble, and before it even releases, and I'll tell you why. Let me preface this, and it's a shame that I have to do this. And it's a shame that anybody has to do this in this day and age. But I want all consoles to succeed. I want the Xbox One to succeed. I want the PS4 to succeed. I want the Neo to succeed, and I want the Scorpio to succeed. Because competition breeds excellence, and I don't want anybody.
You didn't mention the NX. You didn't mention the NX.
There isn't one.
That's because there is no and there is no NX, and the Wii U has already failed.
It's terrible, guys. That's so bad.
But I'm talking about consoles, not jokes.
Where's Sega?
Oh,
But
the Dreamcast 2 is coming.
it is coming.
Be
It
patient.
is.
But so almost everybody, based on the specs of the Scorpio, almost everybody, and Rand from TXR says this, and these are Xbox guys. Southbound from TXR says the same thing. This thing is going to be fucking expensive. You're probably looking at anywhere between $500 to a $600 console. If the Neo comes in at $399, like general consensus seems to say it will, that's for a launch console. That is the sweet spot. One of the problems that the Xbox One ran into, aside from messaging, and that's the other problem that the Scorpio has right now, is Mike, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Talking to Dreamcast.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Anyway, you look
Mike,
like you look like a nerdy Dr. Evil stroking Mr. Wigglesworth.
And when Mr. Dreamcast gets mad, he will die.
But no. So
The
two big problems that the Xbox One had at launch were pricing and marketing. Right. Those were the big issues. I mean, it came in a full $100 more expensive than the PS4, and it had DRM. It didn't have DRM. You could play used games. You couldn't play used games. You had to check in 24 hours. You didn't have to. Nobody knew what the fuck was happening when that thing launched. And the messaging for the Scorpio, in my opinion, has been just as muddled. I mean, Phil Spencer it took Phil Spencer 3 interviews to get his story straight, as opposed regarding what this thing actually does and what it will do for you. Do you need a 4K TV? Do you not need a 4K TV? What does this thing actually do? And they announced it 18 months before this fucking thing is supposed to come out, an hour after you just announced a new iteration of the Xbox. I've never seen it done this way, and it's ironic. It's ironic that in 2013, and this is just because I love fine, delicious irony. In 2013, in February, they said, when they announced the PS4, they said, well, I think it was Major Nelson who said, well, announce a console without showing it. That's one way to do it. Well, what the fuck did you just do? You announced that you did the exact same shit. And I think consoles don't sell at $699. With the PS3 got fucking annihilated when it launched. The 3DO, you guys remember the 3DO? That motherfucker launched at $599 and it sunk like a goddamn stone. People want affordable consoles, right? And I get that these consoles, I get that the Scorpio is marketed to a very specific audience. It is marketed at the hardcore gamer, and people will buy it, but it is
not enough to keep it afloat. That's for damn
yes,
sure.
that is my and that as opposed to the Neo, which yes, it's marketed to the hardcore audience, but at $399, the casual audience will buy that as well. They will. Period. It's going to happen. And so everybody who keeps saying, the Neo needs to go back to the drawing board and match the Scorpio spec for spec, no, they absolutely do not. They don't, because that's not what the casual market cares about. And everybody on this podcast is not part of that market, but the vast majority of gamers are. And
part of the neutral market.
We're part of the neutral market. Yeah, we've taken the oath. But I don't know. That's you guys
neutral.
House neutral.
Wow.
The sigil is just a straight line.
God.
I mean, I would love to know what you guys think, but I think the Scorpio. I don't think it's going to flop, but I don't think it's going to do well, and I think part of the reason I think Microsoft was so focused on we have to have the most powerful fucking console in the history of mankind. I think they're focused so much on power, it's a monster that they've missed the message, they've missed the meaning, behind the whole thing. Like when they were doing that video, I'm kind of going off here, but when they did that video, that ridiculous video, and I hate it when companies do this. Sony's done it before too. When you get these faces on the screen, they're like uncompressed pixels. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
It's not real. It's not real.
What is an uncompressed?
Blast processing.
If you blast process, if
you leave Sega alone.
If you ask that guy, hey, excuse me, Mr. Man, what exactly is an uncompressed pixel? He's gonna do this.
I just wanted to do the Scorpio. I wanted to do the Scorpio.
I don't. It's all this corporate technobabble. There's no such fucking thing as an uncompressed pixel. So yeah, it's all
pixels you've ever seen.
Yeah,
No, it's vintage dark roast.
Oh, hey, John. So John, real quick, Mike wants to chime in, and Mike, you chime in, and then I want to, throw this out to the rest of the panel too, what they think.
I mean, I still think we're a year too early for any of this shit. But here's where I see it from. Whether you like it or not, part of the problem that has arisen from this generation of gaming that we haven't seen as much in previous, besides, John, I totally 100% agree with you that pricing and messaging were it.
Oh my god.
However, wait, because there's a however coming.
Here we go.
You cannot dismiss that Microsoft has had its shit kicked in about power, about 1080p, 900p. Oh my God, Star Wars Battlefront's only 720p.
Yeah,
oh
but
my
that's
God.
not why. But not by the casual audience.
Yeah, not at
But
all.
the casual audience does not. The casual audience, as much as I would love for it to, if that was the case, there have been many times when the Xbox One has been cheaper than the PS4 and has still not sold very well against it. Not in general. It's sold very well in general, but not against the PS4. So they've gotten beaten over the head by Digital Foundry, and this is the first generation that I can remember that mainstream sites like IGN and GameSpot are doing comparisons. They didn't do that shit last generation. So now they're getting beat from all sides about, well, your console's not powerful enough. So part of that has stemmed from them needing to be the most powerful because that is what they perceive right now as what all the gamers who have shunned them this generation want. Now, whether or not that thing does come out at $599 next year, who knows? I don't think they should have announced it 18 months out.
It should have been an E3 2017 announcement.
I also don't believe that it's going to cannibalize Xbox One S sales because, number one,
I don't. Neither do I.
I don't either.
If we talk about casuals, how many casuals are really going to remember that when they want to go out? If you want to play Xbox One right now, if you want to play the games that are out there right now, if you want whatever the hot titles are this holiday, you have to have an Xbox One. So you're going to get the Slim because you're not going to get the original one anymore because why would you do that? I don't think that that's going to have a big effect on S sales. I think S sales are going to be just fine.
I don't think they're going to be just fine, but I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be because of the Xbox Scorpio. I don't think Xbox Slim sales are going to be fine at all.
They've
I
already
think a lot of people are going to say, why would I go and now at this point where I'm halfway through a year, go and spend another $350 to $450 potentially when I could wait another 7 to 9 months and potentially put that much towards next.
Because I don't think the S is marketed to those people.
But here's the thing, Bella and Mike, people are going to now. What's going to kill Xbox One S sales is people are going to say, why would I go out and spend $299 on a console when I can just spend $60 on it and play it on Windows 10?
Nah, I've been through.
If they have the PC capable.
Yeah, that's a big if. Yeah. See, I've been through this argument many a time. The amount of people who have both an Xbox One and a capable PC are not even. I would be surprised if that's 5% of the Xbox One install base. Honestly.
I mean, I've got a $500 Alienware Alpha that will run games just fine.
That's fine. I don't at all. And I'm an IT guy. I mean, my main job is networks and computers, and I don't have a PC capable at home of gaming. So there's no reason for me to build up a gaming PC when I have a perfectly good Xbox One sitting there in front of my couch with my controller and all that. It just, that is such a small margin. If that was a bigger margin than what it was, then a lot of games that are out on both PC and Xbox One that there are, the PC versions would sell way higher, and that just doesn't happen. Titanfall would have wiped out the Xbox One version and the Xbox 360 version when it launched, and it was the least selling of the three. So that I don't buy into that at all. I think there are people who are going to do it, and I know people who are going to move to Windows. I mean, the other piece of it is I've got probably 125 games on my Xbox One right now. Am I going to abandon all of those just to go move to PC for a couple of games? And I'm not going to be able to play The Division with John anymore, or with Enrique anymore, and Eric anymore, and I'm not going to be able to play half those games because they're not on PC? I'm not doing that.
Why would you play The Division to begin with?
It's better than Dark Souls 3.
Better than Dark Souls 3.
There was a time.
All right, guys. See you later.
I think to kind of agree with John, I think the Xbox One S sales
we still see you, John.
Are going to be limited to a certain extent. I think what you see as far as the pre-orders and things like that right now are from the gamers who already own an Xbox One and they just want to switch over to the new console. I don't see too many people who don't have an Xbox One who are super excited about the Xbox One S. So I think it's still going to face that same problem that it's have been since it launched until the Scorpio comes out and the conversation can be changed a little bit.
Bmuny, what was the vibe at E3, man? Because you were there. You had the press conference. I mean, what was the vibe with Microsoft when they
first announced the S? Like, just the crowd, there wasn't like a huge eruption or anything like that. I mean, to be honest, I think this crowd this year was actually a little quieter than it was last year. As far as the announcements and the games and stuff that were announced, you didn't really get the big roar until Scorpio was announced, and they played the video and it's a monster and all that. So then everybody got pretty much hyped up. But as far as everyone getting hyped up about the One S, it was not that that great. So
yeah, I think the OG one is going to sell pretty well because of the price point on that one now.
It's lower. Yeah.
That's going to clear out, which is obviously what they want to do.
That's what they're trying to do. I think once those are gone, the S is the only thing you're going to be able to get.
Right.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, John.
Yeah. Go.
Okay. No. All-Star Gamer 1000 in chat says you missed the point. It's a cheap 4K Blu-ray player, and people like smaller consoles. People do like smaller consoles, but nobody's buying consoles to play disc movies anymore. They're not.
When's the last time you bought a Bluray?
I bought one. $14.99.
People try to compare it to that argument that PS2 was sold so well because it was the cheapest DVD player. That was bad. That was back when we didn't stream movies digitally. Nobody buy like I know somebody who works at Best Buy, and he says, and I know for a fact I've asked him. He says, you know what we sell the least of in electronics? DVD and Blu-ray players. We just don't sell them. They just don't sell. Because
but do the movies sell?
No. Dude, sales of disc-based games are dropping like fucking stones every single year. Every single year they go down. And we see the same thing with games as well. Digital, which one reason why, as far as software goes, MPD is becoming more and more irrelevant every single month. Because every single month the gap, the divide between physical sales and digital sales is get Z huge. Let me get my freaking Pokemon ball out.
Yeah.
But seriously, every time I want Z huge, I imagine myself saying Z huge, I summon you, and throwing a fucking Pokemon ball.
It's like State Farm.
Yeah, exactly. But like a good neighbor, Z huge is there. But nobody buys these things to play disc-based movies anymore. That's just not the way it works. So I see what you're saying, All-Star Gamer, but that's just not the case anymore.
Well, let me ask you something, Al. You haven't chimed in yet, man. Do you think this thing's doomed, Scorpio? Do you think it's in trouble the way John thinks it's in trouble?
Well, I mean, John brings up a lot of causes for concern that are legitimate. I mean, I feel that it was definitely announced probably a year in advance that it didn't need to be. They could have waited till next fall to announce it, because it still has another 6 months after that to come out.
Al, why are you not eating junk food for a few weeks?
That was the joke, because Bella posted her thing. She posted a thing on how to save money.
I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
I was trying to be funny back, but it obviously fell on deaf ears. And to counter Mike, I always counter Mike with the PC thing. Microsoft basically shot themselves in the foot for me, and I'm a small demographic. I have probably the ballingest computer you guys have ever fucking dreamed of as far as gaming computers go.
It's called CNET.
And that show was like, here's his Xbox One, and I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I want the Xbox One Slim. I knew about it before the show. I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And then they had to go and announce the Scorpio, and then it killed all hype for that Slim. Instantaneously killed my hype. I am not buying a Slim. It's worthless to me. And anybody who actually gives a shit about Microsoft getting an Xbox now is probably thinking the same thing. I would just wait. I would not get it now. I think they're going to cannibalize. They killed their sales. You're going to see it. I guarantee you're going to see sales take a nosedive from now till Christmas.
I think the one thing that could push sales is the price of the Scorpio.
Yeah,
because, again, we buy consoles. We buy consoles to get in on a decent price, a decent level.
Yeah.
And Enrique and I talked about this off line. I said this whole thing between Neo and Scorpio really kind of, I don't think people are looking at everything from every angle. I think, it's great for the Twitter arguments of now we have more power coming or whatever. That's
but I didn't know what it is, though. That's another thing.
It's great for that narrative.
They're saying 6 teraflops. They're not exactly explaining what that is. They're not saying that's GPU power. They're not saying that's CPU power. AMD had their spring session where they showed 3 GPUs will be used in 2017 consoles. 2017 consoles. They told us already. NX is coming out in 2017. Neo is coming out in 2017, and Scorpio is coming out in 2017. Regardless of what you want to think that's happening this fall, AMD is putting chips in 3 consoles next year.
Right. Fucking whether or not it's Phil Spencer or Adam Boyes or Shuhei Yoshida or Major Nelson getting up there in the top row going, I'm signaling for the teraflops, here they come. Fucking I don't care. Is it going to be 1080p? Is it going to be 60 frames a second? Cool, great, whatever. I don't give a shit. Because honestly, look at Uncharted 4. That game can't get any. It can't get it. There's no possible fucking way aside from maybe getting it to run at 60.
Well, one of the leads his ass.
There's no fucking way to get that game.
Every time someone bring up.
Every time someone brings up Neo, or someone brings up Scorpio.
Somebody got to bring up Neo.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so let me ask you a question, John.
Yes.
You're not John.
Did you become John?
I can be.
Oh, it's your
Hi, I'm
podcast.
Mr. Negative.
Why? I mean, you know the Neo is coming. You don't know when, but you know the Neo is coming. And, you know, if you listen to Eurogamer and places like that, it's coming in the fall. Who knows? But why would that not cannibalize PS4 sales? Why wouldn't PS4 sales right now take a nosedive? People knowing that we have a Neo coming even closer than the Scorpio.
Can I chime in, Mike?
Because they haven't said it officially.
So because
Andrew House said it exists.
But, hold on.
But he said it exists. He didn't say it's coming in 18 months.
Okay, I've got to get going soon, so let me chime in on this one real quick, and
All right,
then I want to let Bella, talk because she's got her hand raised, and I'm a gentleman, unlike you fucking barbarians who don't let a woman talk. So Bella, you have my assurances that let me give my quick 10-second spiel, and then you may talk. And if anybody tries to talk over you, I'm gonna fucking handle business.
Oh my God! You don't know Bella, do you?
The King in the North.
I love it. That's my new nickname.
You're the neutral of the North.
The neutral of the North. But no. In all seriousness,
Games of consoles.
Games of consoles. Anyway. Okay. Several reasons. One, Xbox or when you hear Project Scorpio, does that in any way, shape, or form scream Xbox One to you? I guarantee you it's not called Xbox One. This is a panic move for Microsoft. That's what it feels like. They're trying to disassociate themselves from that brand name completely because, it's selling better than the Xbox 360, but internally, it's considered a sales catastrophe. It is. That's just the bottom line. As far as the PS4 Neo goes, they have been upfront from the beginning that this is a complementary. This is a PS4. This is a PS4. It complements the PS4. You know, your PS4 is going to run games just fine. You really don't even fucking need it if you don't want it. It's a luxury item. That is why they didn't announce it at E3 because quite frankly they don't fucking need to announce it. The PS4 is selling just fine without the Neo. And honestly, if people knew the Neo was coming in October and they knew it was $100 more expensive and they were like, games are gonna look better. I don't. The casual audience doesn't care about that. The casual audience cares about what's cheap. The casual audience, the mass market gamer, which is nobody in this podcast and probably nobody in the chat, they don't care about power. They don't care about fucking teraflops or gigaflops or megaflops or fucking fat flops or freaking armpit, freaking floppage. They don't give a shit about that.
That is actually me. That is actually me. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. So if you don't care, then why wouldn't you just buy the fucking cheapest machine possible and take that extra $100 or take that extra $200 and buy some fucking games?
That's why I think the Slim is going to be fine.
So no, but Mike, you answered your own question. Why wouldn't PS4 sales tank? I mean, you just answered it because it's cheaper.
Right, I'm asking you because you're making the assumption that because the Scorpio is coming out in a year and a half, people aren't going to buy an Xbox One until then. I'm asking why that doesn't apply to the Neo.
No. People are no. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. People aren't going to buy the Xbox Slim. Why the fuck would they?
Because it's cheap. Because it's cheaper. It's $299.
Well, the cheapest version is $299.
The cheapest version is $299.
There's 3 versions. Let's not hide that. That's
3 fucking versions of this thing.
That's so stupid.
Like, why? Why are there 3 versions of this thing? Why?
They should have just had a terabyte. That's it. 1
anyway,
terabyte. That's it.
I told Enrique before the show started, I can't stay for the whole thing tonight, so I'm gonna get going. I've said my piece. You're all wrong, and I'm right. And I'm a gentleman, and I'm gonna pass the mic to Bella because in the U.S. Marine Corps, that's how we do it. But I will end the show with a quick plug, Enrique, if you don't mind.
I'll plug it later too.
Okay, cool.
I always do.
Superform Gazecast goes live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Thursday, I highly recommend you guys join us. It is probably our most exciting episode yet. We have Kyle Bossman from Easy Allies who's going to join us. And spoiler alert, Mike Huber may or may not pop in as well at the same time. So, nice. Holy fucking shit. Hype levels are fucking out of bounds. And at some point, Bmuny and Eric, you have not been on the Gamescast yet. And Bella, I would love to get all you guys on at some point as well.
Well, John, I'm actually on a couple of weeks leave at the moment, and because I'm in Australia, our time zones are very conflicting. So if you want to get me on soon.
That's Bell's way of saying, John, I think you're a barbarian, and I have no desire to come on your podcast.
No, I'm saying that there is a window that is open. Crawl in the window. Actually, no, don't crawl in my window.
You just want to be there for Kyle Bossman. Just admit it.
No, like next week or the week after or whatever. But there's a couple of weeks where there are windows open, so if you want to book me in,
We'll get you in next week then. How about that?
Have your
Sounds
people
like a
call
plan.
her people.
I'd love to hear Bella and I call him Brad.
Brandon.
Brandon, yes, Brandon.
Jesus, Enrique.
Jeez. Yeah,
But no, I know. I'd like to hear. No. I'm more interested in hearing Bella and Doc go at it.
Oh yeah.
That's the fucking.
They can talk about first-person shooters.
Someone's
I'm gonna
hype
that up.
Teraflop off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, somebody's getting a teraflop. Hulk Hogan's gonna come in and he's gonna slap his thigh. The big teraflop drop. The teraflop drop. The fucking
Teraflop drop.
Anyway, so yeah, Bella will be on the program next week. How about that? There we go. It's fucking locked in.
All right, done.
Cool. All right. You. By the way, you'll be our first female representation on the show. So we appreciate that.
Well, JT's been on for how long?
Oh.
She called JT a girl.
Yes.
Oh God.
Fuck up, Al.
I'm timestamping this and sending it to him.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I said that's I didn't say JT. I said that's
No, Al said JT.
No, Al said JT. Al said JT. No, and people have been saying there's not enough female representation on your podcast. I've been trying to get my wife to come on. She's a huge gamer. She's like, no, I don't want to come on. Yeah, I know. Oh, don't even go there. Yeah.
Jade Raymond on.
Oh,
yeah, I'm actually working on getting Jessica Nagiri on.
Seen Rip.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that's. What did you say, Enrique?
Nothing, man.
Anyway, I gotta get going. I gotta get up in the morning. But anyway, Enrique, as always, I am actually an official member of the podcast now. For people in chat who don't know,
It's official.
It's official. It's official. Enrique and I are a thing. We're together now.
You know what's crazy? We have two representatives from the Super Performance Gamecast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of crazy. But yeah. So yeah, things are going well. Things are progressing, and we're working on getting a big guest on Basement Radio Arcade podcast as well. I'm not going to say who it is, but Enrique knows who I'm talking about.
Yep.
So, but anyway, thanks again. I won't hog the mic anymore. Thanks again, everybody. It was a pleasure talking to everybody.
John, thank you, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Later, John.
Night, John.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah, guys, and Bella, we will see you on the Super Perform Gamescast next week.
Indeedy.
Bye, guys.
See you, John.
Ciao.
All right, Bella. So you had your hand up. You wanted to chime in.
Oh, can we even remember what we were talking about? No, I'm kidding.
Windows.
Yeah.
Climbing in
I do
windows.
remember.
Climbing in windows.
So basically, when it comes to the Scorpio, where my concerns lie is that with the very limited information that we've been provided with so far, and let's be honest, it's been quite vague.
Yeah.
There just seems to be a real focus towards 4K gaming, which is fine because obviously that's where things need to move. But when we think about it, how many people actually have a 4K television in their home? It's really quite a small percentage. So if you want to get the next generation console and take most advantage of it by utilizing the 4K gaming, you'll need a 4K TV. So the price of your gaming has now blown out from the Scorpio to that plus a 4K TV. Now, if you decide not to go down that route, then yeah, there might be all these other little improvements here and there that they're talking about with teraflops and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, one of the things that people complain about the most is frame rate. And they've already stated that the frame rate will not be any different on the Scorpio to what it is on the Xbox One. So that
horrible
that
decision.
brings
How in the world is that even? How is that even possible?
Yeah, that's my question, Mike.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. Let Bella finish here.
Yeah.
Well, they're leaving that decision up to the developers of what they're going to produce their games at. But the thing is, this no one gets left behind mentality, which is great. But the issue that brings is that
Sounds
if they're going to say that their frame rate is not going to be different between the Scorpio and the Xbox One, developers are then going to be left with a decision of, are we going to create 2 iterations of this game that work together seamlessly but run on different frame rates so it can still run on the Xbox One and also utilize potentially more of the power of the Scorpio to run at a higher frame rate? And 9 times out of 10, the answer to that is going to be no. So right now, I'm not seeing, as a person who doesn't own a 4K TV, who is absolutely happy with every iteration of current gen gaming that I own, there is no motivation for me right now to go out and get a Scorpio, even if it was available today. I feel like it's not necessary. It is a power play. It is we have been spending the last 3 years hearing all about how the PS4 is slightly more powerful than the Xbox One. So we're just going to bring out this thing that smashes specs out of the water. And I guarantee you, Sony know what they're doing, and they're going to counter it. It feels like a dick measuring contest, and I'm really over it.
I think the new Xbox is going to be called the Peter North Edition. No, you know what? A couple things. I don't agree with the notion that this thing's going to fail per se, because I think this is something that's targeted.
I don't think it'll fail.
Yeah, I think the Scorpio and Neo are targeted they're targeted at techies, those high-end consumers who are going to go out and buy a 4K TV for the purpose of having a Scorpio, the purpose of having a Neo. I'm actually one of those. I was at Best Buy when I was trying the PlayStation VR, and if it wasn't for hearing my wife in my head, I would have pulled out the Amex and I would have picked up that, the $1,300 Bravia. That's 4K HDR. I mean, so it's intended for people like me. I think that I don't agree that I don't think Neo's going to cannibalize PS4 sales. I don't think Scorpio is going to cannibalize Xbox Slim sales, because it's going to be there's obviously a cheaper price point, and the casuals start really buying consoles at the $299 price point. So I think that when they walk in to a Best Buy and they're saying, oh well, we got the Xbox Slim, we got the Xbox Scorpio, Mr. Best Buy rep, tell me what the difference is. Well, you can play the games on both consoles, except one gives you 4K, but this one's going to cost you $500 and this one's $250. Most people are going to gravitate towards the one that is $250, because they don't feel like they're really missing out, because they can still play the same games. Eric and I have been talking about this a lot offline, and Mike, you and I talked about this too. Regardless of what Sony and Microsoft say about, we're not going to have exclusive content, I call bullshit on that. I think eventually at some point 100% it's going to happen, because why do you have all this power? If you're not going to show it off? And I refuse to believe.
And who has to show it off? Who's going to have to show it off? First party, because third party.
Well, first party, yes.
Under the gun.
Yeah, third party. We've seen it already with this generation, where they use parity. They're like, okay, well, this one can do a little bit better, but this one can't. We're going to do parity. Developers are already swimming and sinking when it comes to developing these games based on budgets and costs. They're not looking to say, okay, well, the Scorpio can kick ass on this, so we're going to go this route, and then the Neo can do this, and hey, but nobody's getting left behind, so we're going to go back and do this. They don't want to hear this shit. They're like, we're trying to maximize profits the same way Microsoft, the same way Sony is, and you guys are putting a noose around our fucking neck.
Yeah.
And it's a dangerous precedent. And I want to jump back on something Mike said. It's a dangerous precedent to kind of doing something like this. And again, I'm not here to shit on anybody's happiness, and you got your power and your flops and go forward and talk on Twitter all day. But you really have to think about what this could mean for console gaming. Console gaming has always been about pick up, plug and play at an affordable cost. The minute you introduce a beast or a monster in whatever Scorpio is going to be and whatever Neo is going to be, you're changing that precedent.
Yeah. Bmuny, what do you think, man?
I actually said the same thing that Eric is saying. When we were at E3, Anchorman and Wood, they were pretty excited about the announcements, and I could kind of just sat back and was like, I don't really know if this is a good announcement for gamers or not. You know what I mean? I think, once you start introducing the premium content and this No Man Left Behind initiative, so what happens on the next console? You know what I mean? After Scorpio and after PS4 Neo, and then what happens to the console after that? And how soon will we see those consoles? Will we see them every 2.5, 3 years. Since we're seeing these consoles so soon, we know how the technology advances so quickly. So it's always going to be how much more power can we get out? Can we truly provide 4K gaming, or is the stuff going to be 4K up-res, or there's so many questions in regards to this. Because we see it with these consoles. A lot of the games, we at the beginning of the generation we were promised 1080p, 60 frames per second, and both consoles are struggling to do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Struggling to
Exactly.
do 1080p 30.
Yeah,
Right.
Bmuny, that's a great point. And Eric, I know you and I have talked about this offline. Like, they've struggled to get 1080p 30 frames a second. I mean, I would even like to see something on Neo or Scorpio where they're taking advantage of the power. Like, forget resolution, but like, using that power to make a game that looks like, just the graphics look insane. You have better textures, lighting. I mean, I would prefer to see that than just, okay, you know what, we want games to be bumped up to 4K resolution and that's it.
Right.
Because there's a difference between graphics and resolution.
Yeah, and even at 4K, that is such a performance hog as far as teraflops are concerned. So it'd almost be a shame if that's all it was. If that's all these things is making these like legitimate 4K experiences, but running at 30 frames a second. I mean, you can fight me all you want, but that's a booty experience for 4K.
Al, is that a waste of power then? Is that a waste of the hardware, you think?
Absolutely. And when we were mentioned before about like certain artists, what they would feel about the power and stuff like that, the lead programmer at id, who was the lead on the new Doom 4.
Talk about Willits?
Which
Tom
is
Willits?
fantastic. No, it's not him. Then he has a Spanish sounding name. Not to be racist.
Hey, easy there. There's Latinos here in the podcast, Al.
His last, it's like Sigliar.
That
It was on Reddit.
Al's
today.
like he
Anyway.
sounds Spanish.
No.
but I don't know.
No. His picture is whatever. I'm not even gonna go there. That's
I'm just
not
busting your
important.
balls, man.
That's not important. What's important is the fact that people are
Stop
saying,
calling me Shirley.
"Hey, are you excited for Scorpio? Are you excited for 4K?" And then all these people chimed in on the tweets. Like 100 people liked it, a bunch of people retweeted it. And he goes, "I'm more excited on what good developers will do with that power, and it won't be 4K. I'm excited about bringing definitive 1080p games to consoles." And I was like,
Yes.
thank you. I cannot
Yes.
wait for real developers to get a hold of this. And I'm not discrediting people who are making stuff for it now, but it makes fantastic. I mean, if you saw Doom runs fantastic on anything you're playing it now. It runs fantastic on Xbox One, on PS4, on
I haven't
PC.
played it yet.
It's crazy. And Enrique, you need to stop the podcast right now. Go to Redbox, get the game, and play it.
Well, I just picked up Wolfenstein.
Oh, that's a fantastic game too.
Yeah.
So back to my thing again. You announce a console, and the only sticking point is the best defined. What did you say? What was John calling about the pixels, the unfiltered pixels, or something?
I don't remember yet.
Completely bullshit. And 6 teraflops, but you're not explaining what that is, and you're not explaining how that power is used. Now that could be good and bad. I think it's a combination of a nice AMD GPU and an overclocked CPU. The CPU is probably, people are not going to like this, probably the same generation of CPU that's already in it right now.
Jaguar, really?
Just overclocked.
That's booty.
They both are going to be Jaguar, I think, Enrique.
Wow.
I mean, both as far as Sony and Microsoft, and that's a shame. And they're gonna have 12 gigs of RAM, when this is fantastic if you're looking at it as on paper. But 12 gigs of RAM on last gen's tech is kind of okay. But again, I'm not a game developer. I'm looking at it as a computer guy and looking at it going, oh, that's kind of
But
it's ho hum.
I can't wait for the remasters of these remasters that we got.
Oh God!
The remasters are gonna like
4K
You know what?
remasters of the remasters.
You make fun of that, but you know what's going to happen with NX,
Absolutely.
right? NX's entire catalog for the first year, you can quote me right now. Tweet it out. Everybody in the chat, tweet it out.
off the cuff.
All the big sellers for NX are going to be Wii U titles that are
Oh
remastered.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow!
Mario Karts, the
You know.
Xenoblades, all those.
They're gonna
games
bring
are
out.
coming
They're gonna bring out Nintendo Replay. 36 years.
Oh, that's what they need. Remember the 52 games in one cart?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, Mike, John is still listening to us while he gets his
yeah, I
jammies
know.
on
I
and
see
brushes
that.
his
While
teeth,
he
yeah.
brushes his teeth and gets his jammies.
Yeah.
Make sure tonight, John, not the one with the feet. So here's
Nels
the
Coney,
thing.
actually, I'm sorry, Mike. Nels Coney says if Brandon was here, he'd be sleeping.
That's the okay. Right. Nels Coney said the Doom developer. It's Tiago.
Yeah, Tiago.
Tiago.
So what's that saying Spanish?
He said something Spanish, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this too when we were having this discussion about exclusive things. Let's make sure that we're also on the same page. We're not talking about exclusive games. We're talking about exclusive features.
Mm-hmm.
So, Forza Horizon 4 would be the same exact game. You put it in the Xbox One, it plays one way. You put it in a Scorpio, it could play another. That's, I think, what they're talking about with this, no gamer left behind thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
where
difference between playing on medium settings and high settings.
something like that.
That's how I interpret it.
That's such a huge development cost, though. That
Oh, no.
sucks.
And that's
But-
two different certifications for the same game.
Hold on,
wait.
Bmuny, go ahead. What are you gonna say? Because
I was gonna say that would be two different certifications for the same game, and that's a lot of cost.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, but that's what they're banking on
And-
UWP to take care of.
And let's not talk about the fact that outside of a lot of the exclusives are not being supported
Right.
to begin with. Like, right
That's
now.
a whole separate. But I'm taking this from a technical standpoint. They are not going to sell a Scorpio version of Forza Horizon 4 and an Xbox One version of Forza Horizon 4. That's
Right.
not how they're marketing this. Unless they're going to do a cross buy kind of thing, where it's two separate games, but one's a Scorpio version and one's not. I think they're banking on the development of UWP to scale that game between the two consoles.
Man, that sounds like a logistic nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's right. That's why that they've stated that there isn't going to be a difference in frame rate between the two consoles, because they're not going to be releasing two different iterations of the same game. But regardless, Forza Horizon 4 is going to sell like hotcakes because it's based in Australia.
Well, 3 is. There's no 4 yet.
Forza Horizon 3. Yeah.
And that's day one. That is day one for me, by the way.
I'm grabbing. Yeah.
By the way, Bella, I am after watching that Call of Duty demo in space. I might be back. I think I'm sold. I'm back.
Oh
Yeah, you want Call of Halo? I mean, Duty?
I think I'm back.
So I'm
I
trying.
think I might be going to Battlefield.
What?
Ooh,
You can't go to Battlefield when I'm coming back to Call of Duty?
Well, I like boots on the ground, actual warfare. I'm like, if I want to play in outer space with jetpacks, I play Halo. I don't play Call of Duty. And that for me, and this is going on a complete tangent, why the hell did you bring up Call of Duty? You already know. Okay, so for me, like Call of Duty, right? Like Call of Duty is, you're in the trenches, you're in forests, you're in broken down, half exploded buildings, you're working together as a team, and it is all out warfare. You're not grapple hooking onto the side of spaceships and like having these boots that have to keep you on the ground because there's no atmosphere. Like that's Halo. It's not Call of Duty. Infinity Warfare. What are you doing? Oh, and on the side note, for anybody, like for the person who got paid money to come up with Infinite Warfare from Infinity Ward, Infinity Warfare Ward, you're overpaid. Like You were overpaid.
I thought it was kind of catchy.
By the way, I'm in a rare position of also being
I'm in a
almost
glass case of
100.
emotions.
That's right. Also being almost 100% in Bella's camp as to I have absolutely zero interest in either of these two consoles. I have no interest in a Scorpio, no interest in a Neo. I am perfectly 100% happy with my two consoles right now.
Careful
Mike,
there, Mike.
does
Your
do
neutral's
everything we
showing.
need, right?
They
Sorry.
do.
Careful, Mike, you're neutral.
I'm about to right. Let me
happened? What did you say?
Let me make sure I answer this one correctly.
What did you say? Hold on.
Oh, I said what Eric said. He said, "Careful, Mike, your neutral showing."
I mean, there's
Games of
no
consoles.
Texas. There's no Texas cat.
Shout out to Worrywart.
Xbox Scorpio bringing
Xbox.
fucking America back. Making it great.
That's right.
Oh my God.
I'm a big ass Texas neutral. I mean, there's
Got my
no
Scorpio 6 teraflops
teraflops.
and a jalapeno pepper.
Look, honestly, if there were still
PlayStation
games,
Neo,
if there were
Crystal
still
Meth.
games coming out for my precious, I would still be fucking buying games for my Dreamcast. I'm
Oh,
serious.
yeah.
That is how.
Hell
That is
yeah.
how.
Hell yeah.
I am more than happy with everything that I have gotten out of the PS4 and the Xbox One at this point.
Absolutely.
There is no. I mean, don't forget too that we.
By the way, Mike, one of the best consoles ever. Seriously, that was the I mean, the Dreamcast was
The
one of the best.
Dreamcast? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it. Look. It's it. Wait a minute. Wrong one. Hi. Hello.
It just fell apart right now in his hands.
You know.
But it was one of the
I
greatest
love you
consoles at
all.
its time, and the reason that we still hold it in such high regard is because we have so much nostalgia surrounded
Oh
to
my
it.
God,
It doesn't stand up today against the consoles of today, let's be honest.
Bullshit.
It doesn't stand up against the consoles of today.
Bullshit.
It doesn't.
Bullshit.
But as far as our gaming experiences on that console went, and our memories of the time that we had on there, and the nostalgic feeling that we get when we go back and play those games or play remasters of them and they take us back to that time, that's what we love so much about it, is it takes us back to a time when it was great. It was king then.
Well, all and
It's
and
not
a
king now.
lot of where we,
No amount of emulation is going to recapture Street Fighter 3 Third Strike that you can get on Dreamcast because the
Thank
timing
you.
was great. Hitboxes were perfect. Same with Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
But that's the game, not the console.
The hitboxes.
the console had to run the game.
It's so dramatically better than any emulation you're going to get, Bella. That's why fighting games and shmup fans like myself, you're only going to get the Dreamcast version of games because they're the best versions of the game for whatever reason.
The other thing too that, and I made a video when I got my HDMI converter on this. You know how much of what gaming is today has come from the Dreamcast. A lot of it. Seamus Blackley tweeted out a bunch of concept pictures for Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
The last one he tweeted out basically was a Dreamcast controller with a VMU.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, hell, Peter Moore said it. Peter Moore said
Yeah. The Xbox was the Dreamcast too, right?
Right.
The Xbox
And
360.
it was directly to fuck Sony because of what they did to the Dreamcast, of how they
Kita?
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, from online play to broadband modems to all of that stuff.
Cinematic third-person adventure games. Without Shenmue, you would have no cinematic third-person action game.
Actually, can I just say Phantasy Star Online? Hello.
Thank you.
And Skies of
Thank you.
Arcadia? Hello.
I wouldn't have 2K Sports.
Dedicated part of my
without
video to
Dreamcast.
you.
Oh, yeah.
You're right, B-Money. 2K
Franchise.
Sports.
2K Sports, 2K NFL 2K forever.
NFL 2K is better than Madden.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Bella's about to
NFL
hang up the
2K is
phone.
better
I
than
know.
Madden
She's
now.
like,
Bella's about to hang up the phone.
No, NFL 2K is better than Madden now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it
Really
is.
is.
It's a
It's
better
Madden.
game. Huh? Oh, that's right.
I'm kidding.
No, Bella, it's footy. It's footy.
Oh, it's
No, it
funny.
isn't.
No, it's not. But
Madden has arbitration mode this year.
there's a lot of nostalgia that surrounds it, Bella. But what I was getting at is it was a good console, and it is a good console, and that's not the reason why it failed. It failed because 3 previous consoles failed terribly, and they couldn't afford itself.
Oh, I'm not taking away from the fact that it was a great console. It most definitely was a great console, but it doesn't stand up against the consoles of today. But the reason that we still feel so attached
I like it better than
is
I like it
because
better
of
than the
nostalgia.
Wii. I like it better than the Wii.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I like it better than the PS3. What?
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
said that.
But why? Why? It's not because of the console. It's because of the games that are on them.
Well,
But
So that's what I'm saying.
but
It's not the
that-
console
games, there's no
itself
console.
that we're
Right.
in love with. It's the games that were on the console that we're in love
Absolutely.
with.
But those games also ran. I mean, Dreamcast games, by and large, can run just as good as Wii games. To be quite honest. And look, like I said, if
Sounds
they
like a
were
neutral
still,
comment to me, Mike.
if they were still Sega, when it comes to Sega, fuck neutrality. When to be quite honest,
You
if
sound
they
like
were
the
still
Tullys.
making retail Dreamcast games, I would still be buying them. That is why this console holds up against my Xbox One and PS4, because I would still be buying games for it if they were still making games. If tomorrow Power Stone 3 was available for the Dreamcast, I would be buying it.
But
It has
you're not.
nothing
You know
to do
why? Because Capcom has no money.
Well, because Capcom, yeah, right. But that's just it. If those games were available today, I'd be buying them today. It has nothing to do with nostalgia. It has to do with it's got a damn good controller on it. The VMU is actually very useful, and it's not that graphically behind as much as people want to think it is.
Well, it's got a lot behind now, but
Well, right, but it's not like going back and playing the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man.
No, it's not. No.
the best version of Pac-Man you never played.
Oh, I played it. Oh, believe me,
I'm
played
saying the rest of the world.
it. Oh, true, right, because I'm older than the rest of the world. None of you people have played a game until you've played the clone called Munchman on the TI-99 4A. Then you can say you're as old as me.
You're old,
God,
Mike.
God damn.
That's okay. I'm content with not being able to make that statement.
And you should, as you should.
Mike, the first time I ever played a
Wood-paneled
Dreamcast,
console.
first time I ever played Dreamcast, no lie, I was at a bar.
Really?
Somebody had brought in a Dreamcast and hooked it up to one of the TV monitors at a bar. And
We were playing Sonic Adventure?
No, what was the boxing game?
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to
Rumble.
We're playing Ready to Rumble,
That
and
was
we're
a
playing
launch title.
Soul Calibur. Was it Soul Calibur launch?
Soul
Yeah,
Calibur.
So
Yeah, we're playing Soul Calibur. Yeah.
Dreamcast had one of the best launch lineups
Dude,
ever.
They did, man.
17 games.
Killed it at their launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they killed it. But I remember that, the Dreamcast, and I was blown away. I was like, Soul Calibur, I was like, holy shit.
The Dreamcast gave me my very first holy shit moment at E3.
I'm glad that's how you finished that sentence.
And it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was actually, because Bmuny brought it up, it was actually NFL 2K that gave it to me. It's a vivid memory I have of walking through the Sega booth on my way to meet with them, and up on the big screen is NFL 2K, and I just turned and glanced at it for a minute, and at the time, quarterback threw the ball
To Mr. Randy Watson.
Yeah, receiver's running downfield. Receiver turns his head to look.
Children of the future. Sorry.
Eggs with chocolate. No,
That was a great movie, by the
that
way.
was a great movie. Receiver's running down the field. He turns to look for the ball, and I almost missed my meeting. I stopped to watch that for 10 or 15 minutes, just in awe. That's what the Dreamcast did back then. And, as far as games like 2K, still does it now. Over Madden.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
anyway, sorry.
Madden can fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big Madden fan.
Yeah.
Not a big Madden fan.
That was a big Dreamcast tangent right there.
What were you saying?
Sorry, Bella.
Oh, no, it's all right. I was just going to say, if we're talking about stuff that's like graphically and visually amazing that makes you stop and stare, like Ratchet and Clank, I've not seen anything that beautiful in
Oh, man.
ever.
That game looks
Playing,
great.
that game gorgeous, man. See, but that adds to the point, Bella, that what Mike was just saying too. Like, I have no problem with my consoles now.
Exactly.
I really don't. So, so if anything, the only thing I really am, and again, I'm not here to shit on anybody's parade. Be excited for what you want. Be happy. I'm just.
Absolutely.
I want to get that out too. I shit on a lot of Microsoft and Sony stuff, and from time to time. But you enjoy what you want.
Right.
But just for me personally, I'm with Mike and Eric and Bella. Like, I'm happy with what I have now. I literally have no desire to go out and spend a couple $100 this fall if I don't have
to play the same
PC
experience.
Master. That's right.
Yeah, exactly, Bmuny. And you know, the other thing is that I completely and utterly embrace any technological advance. I love technology. I love seeing stuff advance. I love seeing things get better and bigger and faster and brighter. So I love the fact that they are working on these new consoles. But what I'm not happy about is that it is so soon. I would have expected the earliest for a new console to come out would have been 2020. That would have given our current generation enough time for the money that we invested in it, plus its games, to have lived out its longevity, and for there to be enough new technology in play that the consoles were at the point where we're like, right, we need to step up. There needs to be a new iteration.
I mean, they're announcing a new console. We haven't even gotten the next Grand Theft Auto yet. You know what I mean? People don't realize that Grand Theft Auto 5 is a last-gen game.
Oh, my God. Grand Theft Auto 5. I can't even tell you how many hours I'm playing on that, right? So last year, Microsoft sent out these emails at the end of the year, and it gave you a breakdown of what the game that you played the most was. Now, you guys know I'm a Call of Duty girl. I would have expected it to be cut because I play that constantly. No, my most played game of 2015 was GTA 5. And I kind of left it for a little bit, went on and did this whole 260 hours of Fallout thing. And now I'm back and hooked again. And I've spent probably in the last fortnight, I'd say easily 45 to 50 hours back on GTA 5. Like, it just has so much legs. They keep adding all of this content, free content. Well, if you're prepared to grind and you don't buy shark cards, but it is free content. And, you know,
I get it.
It's so well put together, and they just keep stringing you along with all these new, you know, you can buy a yacht, and now you can buy a bank, and now you can be a CEO, and it's so good.
And I kind of want to say, too, like, you know, I'm not going to sit and, like, downplay that there is some shitty media stuff going on. There's some shitty journalism. I get that. But I don't necessarily, I know a lot of people, their thing is to blame media for a lot of the issues, in particular that Microsoft has, and pumping up Sony and whatever the case may be. But I honestly believe that, you know, these consoles are too soon, but too far away. The only thing, I didn't feel super excitement at the Scorpio announcement. I was like, I'm cool with it because, again, I like tech, I like new stuff. All I felt mostly was, fuck, I got to hear about this for another, like, 18 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, and that's just how I felt about it.
I'm excited about it because everything from the Microsoft presser was released before the Microsoft presser.
Right. So I don't blame. I blame social media for the reason that this is like happening now. That we're getting a new console like now because people would not shut the fuck up about it and just enjoy their games.
Yep.
You know, people profess to be so hardcore and such fans of something, but all they do is talk about the other and shit on what they, in essence, shitting on what they already have.
Yeah.
I've been blaming social media for a lot of what's going on.
It's those goddamn neutrals.
Yeah.
They're the ones.
Yeah. And I'll make one more point, and then I can be done with this conversation. I know, you know, we got to wrap up.
Wrap it up, B.
One thing that, and actually, B, I want to ask you a quick question because I don't get to podcast with you very often. So, and Bella too, actually, because I haven't been on with you in a while. I have called both of these consoles apology consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
No.
Definitely. You say
You
no?
got Bmuny? Yeah, no, I don't agree with it, but you by all means.
I like that you both answer differently. That makes it
That is
interesting.
good.
You know what? This is what we do there. We bring different points of view here on Basement Radio Arcade Podcast.
So let me qualify why I said that. Because these are coming out so quickly, to me, these have felt like both companies saying, well, I know here's what we promised you, and I know we couldn't deliver on it. So here's really the console that we wanted to sell you in 2013. We're sorry we sold you the PS4. Here's a Neo that actually will do what we said originally we were going to do. So that's why I've called them apology consoles.
It's like sorry, not sorry.
I kind of agree with that. You know, even when we were at E3 and everybody was kind of excited about the new consoles being announced, and even when you know, Andrew House officially announced that there was a PS4 Neo that we would see in the future, I was just like, I already gave you my money. You know, now it's time to buy the games, and I felt like, you know, if you're not going to give me a different experience, why should I buy another console? I'm totally happy with, you know, the games that I have now and the console that I have. You promised one thing and you lied to me, so why should I give you more money to lie to me again? That's how I kind of feel about it. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not going to give you more money until you give me a new console that has exclusive games on it. I'm not going to keep buying Xbox One S or Scorpio or whatever else you come out with if it's all going to be the same experience. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and so the other point that I wanted to make, which kind of may, you know, Bella, since you and I kind of agree that we're happy with our systems too, if you look at the natural progression of games throughout a generation, yeah, I hear it too, but I don't think that's me.
It's not you, it's Enrique's.
Oh, okay. All right. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. If you look at the natural maturation of game development from start to finish, we're not seeing the best that these consoles have either. You know, we're not seeing the difference between, you know, Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 3. We're not seeing the difference between Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 3. You know, there's still a lot of development room left in these. So you're going to get closer to what these new consoles can do by natural development time. So we're not even at. That's why I keep saying that these are way too early as well, because you're not even hitting that plateau to where you can't get any better on the console you already have. So from there, you're going to try to push people into another console. It just doesn't make sense to me. And look, I've come to the conclusion that I am just outdated when it comes to what I know about gaming and what I know about console generational timelines and things like that. And the world's changing around me, and I'm just having a hard time changing with it.
Yeah, I actually brought up this topic on the podcast before.
I know, I heard it. Doesn't get old at all.
Trying to see if these consoles have kind of maxed out what they can do. And the guys on the podcast kind of felt like, you know, these consoles were done for and it was time to move on. And I was of the mindset that, you know, like you, Mike, I didn't feel like, you know, we got the best of what these consoles can do. And everybody was always like, oh, well, if you look at Ryse and you look at Uncharted, they both look great, so there's not much more you can do. And I always bring up the same argument. If you look at Ryse and you look at Uncharted 4, yes, they do. Both games do look great. But look at what Uncharted did as far as the storytelling. Yeah. Look how vast that world was compared to Ryse, which was basically almost like a walking simulator. You walk from one point to the next point, you know, taking out the enemies. The world was not as vast, or was not as much cinematics or narrative in that story. So you can definitely tell the difference from a release title to a title that we got, you know, 3 years into the gen.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, that was Uncharted for conceivably the mid-gen.
Right.
As opposed to what you usually get. Because look what The Last of Us did at the end of the PS3 life cycle. You know, versus the stuff that we were getting in the beginning. So yeah, there's still life in these things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So before I chime in, I just want to make sure that's the end of your response to that, Bmuny.
Yeah. No, I feel like, you know, these are apology consoles, kind of similar to how you guys feel. So.
All right, so the reason that I said no when Mike answered that question, and I'll start it off with this. So one of the main points that you just made is that you feel like we haven't seen everything that these consoles are able to provide us with, which I can completely understand that point of view. But the console itself can't actually create experiences. The console itself can't create immersiveness. The people who can are the developers. So that's on them. That's not on the console. The console's there, and it has the power to do these things. It's up to the development studios whether they harness that technology and they bring those experiences to us instead of doing things like pumping out the same shit that's copy and pasted every single year. That's on them. That's not on the console. I don't feel like the next iteration, and this is coming from somebody who already just said, I am happy with what I've got. I don't feel that these consoles that are coming out next year are apology consoles. I feel like they are the console that we're meant to have already had, but we couldn't have because the two main companies were fighting against each other to get shit out the door. Microsoft ran the Xbox One out when it was meant to be ready for DirectX 12, but they ran it out for 11, and they had to change all their DRM and all that kind of stuff. They're not apology consoles. They're them now having the time to be able to do what they wanted to do with it. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with that. Yeah, I'm excited that there's going to be this new technology available, but I feel like Microsoft and Sony should have taken, if they needed, that extra 3 years to do what they're doing now, instead of having this whole iteration of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, where we all went out and we upgraded and we spent, in some instances, thousands upon thousands of dollars for headsets, consoles, games. It really shouldn't have been a thing. If the next generation, which apparently is the same generation but different generation, not quite sure how they're pitching that, mixed messaging much, but it just seems like the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 were fillers. They were placeholders for what we're about to get.
Interesting, yeah.
Stopgap console.
That's an interesting point, Val. Yeah. You put it that way, they kind of do maybe feel like stopgaps.
Well, all the more, and that's the basis of my calling them the apology consoles. Is that, I agree with you. There is definitely, it's not the console they wanted to put out. It's the console I guess they had to put out. And, with that, now they're trying to sell you the console that they really wanted to put out, and now they're trying to, get you to buy that console. That's really what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the Xbox One S? That is totally all about MPDs. 100% MPDs.
I mean, all of that is totally understandable. But at the beginning of these conferences, when they first announced these consoles, what do they talk about? They talk about, this console is 20 times more powerful than PS3, or this is the same console that's 100 times more powerful than 360. And look at all these servers we have, and look at all this cloud compute shit, and all this other bullshit that they fed it. And y'all ran out and bought these consoles, and 3 years later, they're telling us to go buy some more consoles.
Right.
And for the first 2.5 years, we played the same exact games that were on the 360 and the PS3 that were available for the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, and I would have actually tag on that.
Bmuny, like the way you say that. I'm sorry, Eric. I don't mean to interrupt, man, but Bmuny, the way you put that makes it sound like a big hustle, man. Like we just got hustled.
We did.
No, yeah. You think about it, man. Like when we went and got these consoles, or when this new generation started, and the first story you started hearing of, this game's having a hard time achieving, 1080p. So it's coming in like around, I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, it's a next-gen console. Why is it having problems with a resolution that has been standard for how many years now?
But it's not the console that's having the problem with it. It's the game that's interfacing with it.
But I think part of that is people trying to figure out the hardware and working with the hardware.
Yeah,
if you're given the hardware that has no problem doing what it's supposed to do, then you can develop for it and get going and doing what you have to do. But that is definitely part of the hardware.
And
the hardware. The hardware wasn't.
they were like, oh, we talked to all the developers, and this is what they wanted. This is the console that they wanted. Isn't that the same thing that Sony said at their conferences? This is the console the developers wanted.
Yeah, Sony had us believe that all the developers just wanted is RAM, which is bullshit. They wanted RAM and a nice GPU, which we didn't get. We got fucking we got a PS4 with fucking 8 gigabytes of GDDR5, which is absolutely worthless with a fucking shitty fucking GPU in there, comparatively speaking.
But if you have a look at what some development studios have been able to do with the hardware available to them, clearly they're able to create brilliance. Yeah. So yet again, it's down to the development studio, because we have seen brilliance in Ratchet and Clank, in Uncharted 4, even in Quantum Break to a degree. Like, there have been some games that have come out and been spectacular. Ryse was beautiful.
Right. I think that
there is the ability there for any studio to take the technology available to them, whether it be on the PS4 or the Xbox One, regardless of what the barriers are, and still create brilliance.
You know what though? But we
can have the same argument for the new console.
But here's the thing about all of those games you mentioned, and even as Enrique said, Ryse. None of those games, except for Ratchet and Clank. I'm sorry, Ratchet and Clank did. None of those games really hit 1080p. Uncharted 4 is 900. It's 1080p in multiplayer, but it's 900 in single player.
But it doesn't need to be.
But 1080p. But I agree with you. Believe it or not, the point I'm trying to make here is not one that actually is against yours, because I totally agree with you. But 1080p. And Bmuny kind of said it. He said, well, why are these consoles having trouble hitting I'm sorry, it was Eric that said that. Why are they having trouble hitting a standard? I'm not a resolution guy, so those things don't bother me. But resolution, 1080p specifically, became right out of the gate a selling point for the PS4. And to an extent, the Xbox One, because how many games, what's his name for 343i, Frankie O'Connor comes out and says, hey, guess what? The Halo Master Chief Collection's all in 1080p. I mean, they make it a point to sell you on 1080p. I am totally, I mean, if you told me that that Battlefront, if you didn't tell me what resolution Star Wars Battlefront was, I wouldn't have told you, oh yeah, it looks like 720p to me. I couldn't tell. I can't tell that stuff. Ryse, as Enrique said, Ryse is one of the most beautiful games that is still out there. I mean, you can still put that game up against games that are out now. So I totally agree. But 1080p
even an indie like Numa Breath of Life, that's a basic puzzler. That is stunning.
Right, and that was my whole point. I'm not a resolution for it looks good. I'm good with that. No, my whole point was at the start of the generation, I was like, there's a battle going on for this. Like, why is this even a thing?
Because it was a selling point.
Right. And I was like, these shouldn't.
It will be a long time. Sorry, Eric, you go.
No. There's definitely a lot of, and I understand there's a difference between resolution graphics and whatnot, but a lot of gamers did feel like the natural progression this console generation was to have a system that could do 1080p. But
I think that's arrogance, and I think it's ignorance as well. I think it's a misunderstanding of what needs to be taken in consideration when you are developing a game that needs to perform at its maximum capacity. And its maximum capacity isn't necessarily 1080p. If you know how games work from a development standpoint, you can push your game up to 1080p, but it's going to suffer in other areas. You want to find a balance where everything is going to be flowing smoothly, looking graphically beautiful, and the frame rate is high enough that it still seems like it's all smooth. And that is where you go with it. And if that happens to be 720p and the game runs perfectly and looks beautiful, then that's what it is. It's 720p. You're not going to push it to 1080p and sacrifice other elements of the game just so you can say hand over heart, oh, my game runs at 1080p. Yeah, it might run like a bucket of shit, but it's playing at 1080p.
Right.
But we had games running 720p last generation. That's my point. Like, people felt like I've had this conversation with a lot of gamers. They felt like, if a next-gen console, we were at 720p last generation. Why is that still a standard?
Yeah.
Because we put too much weight in a number. Instead of the experience, instead of the game, the immersion, the feeling that we get out of the game that we play. I want them to no longer tell us anything about how many Ps go into a game. That needs to be something that is no longer put on a packet or put out in presentation.
We have two mics now.
I'm sorry, Bella. Mike, why is there two mics?
Jump back to come back and battle the other mic.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
Which is the good mic?
I honestly, I have no idea.
This is weird.
Well, we have one mic sucking his finger.
That's the bad mic.
I think Google's trying to fix Boogie's channel and they're screwing everything up.
So I'm sorry, Bella.
I'm
Finish what
brushing
you're
his
saying.
hair.
Basically, there's too much weight put in numbers, and the reason behind it is what I just explained before about how different games need to be scaled at different rates because they suit different games. Gamers need to stop focusing on 1080p, 720p, and why can't my console do this or why can't I do that? The console can do it. It's there. The capability is available.
Yeah.
There is different reasons why different games don't utilize that, and so they can maximize the experience that you get from that individual game. And it shouldn't matter if it's not running at 1080p if the game is still running beautifully.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But
I'm with that.
What is the argument for the next console? Is my whole
Right, because you're already jumping to 4K. You couldn't handle 1080.
If 4K or the numbers don't matter, 1080p, 720p, if you're supposed to perform and put out a game at the highest quality, then what is the purpose of having a new console?
Well, that's the thing. That's why I feel like it's way too early because the main focus of Project Scorpio is towards 4K gaming, which obviously is the direction that gaming is headed in. Isn't there yet, but it is headed there. But unless you're somebody who has a 4K TV or monitor, what good is it to you?
Yeah, because they told you the Slim, you can get away with it. The Scorpio, you're out.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Bmuny. What was? Did you see the new Legend of Zelda?
Yes.
And what was your opinion? How did it look?
It looked beautiful. It was the longest line at E3. If you wanted to play Zelda, you had to run to the line because they closed it down basically once everybody lined up.
Yeah. And I say that because to me that was one of the most visually stunning games running on
a Wii U.
At 720p with no AA.
Yeah.
Did you see the video footage of people, like when they open the doors for people to run through and play the demo of the new Zelda game? Like it was like a stampede. It was insane.
There was a guy in the lower right doing the praise the sun thing, which is pretty
Oh my god!
You gotta watch the video. Check it out. It's so
over the top of them.
That's funny.
So funny.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 11:33 East Coast time.
Well, we're only going 2.5 hours?
Yes, we're only going 2.5 hours. And yeah, I just want to get to a quick question. In the live chat, oh my god, these Geralt comments. Oh my god.
I still can't, for some reason, type into the chat room. Like,
The fact that Geralt says thanks bunches is hilarious.
Yeah, by the way, Al, this is so Geralt. You smell wonderful. Yeah, and Geralt, we're at a funeral. Geralt, you smell wonderful at this funeral.
Oh yeah, man. These are actually quotes from the game that I'm getting from IMDb. They're like memorable quotes. I mean, the game is just so hilarious.
Yeah. Geralt's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All-Star Gamer had a question about.
He had a question about the.
Oh, what do he wanted to know what we thought about Batman Arkham Collection use?
Delay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move for them.
Yeah, it really needs it. Have you seen what they've shown us so far? It needs it.
It sucks. But now a lot of people don't realize this. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the shots that everyone's comparing to are 4K up-res shots from the PC version that were bull shots. People don't realize this. Those are not in-game PC shots. Those are in-game 4K PC bullshots, which means you take a screenshot of a game and you give it to a graphic designer, and he highlights stuff and he brings colors out and he adds texture. Those are fake shots that people are getting tied up in. How does this look this bad? Well, it's because those never existed. I mean, you can run Arkham Asylum on PC at the highest settings and then take a picture of the same exact thing. You'll notice that the shot that you get is different than the one that they showed. However, to try to alleviate this PR disaster that's already out there, they're trying to give themselves more time, potentially put in Origins, and Warner Brothers is trying to get you to come back. That's what I feel they're going to do. I think they're going to try to do something with the graphics, but I think they're just really going to add another game and hope you buy it at $29.
Yeah, and you can be sure you'll hear like all about it through leaks, because Warner Brothers don't leak anything ever. Nothing leaks from Warner Brothers, so you'll know all about it before it gets announced.
Yeah.
Swindlers. They gave us a shitty Batman versus Superman movie. Now they're pulling this movie.
Did you guys all see my meme that I made for that article about stop lying? We know you leaked it. We know you did it. Like the meme is Superman slapping Robin.
I didn't see that, but that's hilarious.
Just, stop it. We know you did it.
That's too funny. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, who's picking up Inside tomorrow?
Already pre-ordered.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta wait a week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you gotta wait a week. Yeah. Bmuny?
I'm tempted.
Yeah, I'm picking that up.
But I do have a lot of RP that I need to farm in GTA 5, so we'll see.
I have a lot of games to play, but
me too, man. Oh my god.
I may have to slip that into the backlog. I mean, the reviews on this game are out of this world.
Phil,
if you guys pick
Phil
up
said it's his best game he's played so far this year.
Yeah, right.
IGN gave it a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, I don't hear anybody screaming about that.
Zero Time Dilemma? That came out too.
Does that come out today or tomorrow?
Yeah, today.
Well, ironically, if at any point any of you are wondering what games are coming out during the week, you can go to www.realgamemedia.com and down on the right-hand side, every week we have all of the games releasing for that week. You'll never miss a game again.
That is a very nice touch. I do love that about the website.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and wrap up the podcast because it's 11:37 and I got to get to bed. I got a long day tomorrow.
I know we didn't hit this topic, but I do want to bring it up real quick.
Go ahead, Bmuny.
One of the topics was the Vivendi takeover of Ubisoft.
Yes.
I just wanted to throw that out there and see what you guys thought about that real quick. Do you think?
Well, they're leeches.
You think that's going to happen? And what do you think of the fate of Ubisoft?
I think it's going to happen. They're already trying to muscle their way on the board.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
Hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's already in play. They're already almost there. They own, oh gosh, how much percent of it is?
20% right
they
now.
Currently already own 20%, is it?
Yeah, and they're trying to muscle their way onto the board of the directors, which means if they get board representation,
20.1%.
If they get board representation, they'll try to influence the board and vote people out and all that other shit, and it'll be a hostile takeover.
Yeah, that's right. So they've got 20.1% of the company and over 17% of voting rights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've already. Wow. I mean, they already bought one of the Bmuny entities.
Yes, they did. Yep.
So,
was it Game something?
Gameloft.
Yes.
So it's and they're afraid. I mean, they're legitimately afraid of this. I mean, you can see it when they talk about Vivendi. They see it coming, and
oh hell yeah! They've already officially said that their goal is to remain independent. However, they've stated that they're open to a merger if push came to shove, but not a merger with Vivendi.
Microsoft.
They're firing shots back.
Someone has to go there and swoop.
Microsoft.
There's no way. Man. There's no way one of the big. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they're. I think they've got too much. I think they're too expensive for anybody to buy them.
Microsoft's got more money than Davy Crockett.
Yeah, but man, that's not spending $2 billion on Minecraft.
Right.
That's a lot of That's a
That's a
lot
lot.
of money right there.
They
Yeah,
just
it
dropped
That's
is.
20
all
bill
your eggs in
on
one
LinkedIn.
basket.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, Minecraft paid for itself already,
Yeah.
like how many times over?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know? Yeah,
I don't
Minecraft was a good purchase. It was a
Yeah.
smart purchase.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody making a play for Ubisoft. They're just too big.
Sega might.
Sega.
It's a joke.
Return.
Yeah.
Sega. Let's see. Sega, Sammy, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I don't think that Ubisoft are taking food coupons right now.
Right.
Nice
They're gonna
call.
merge with. They're gonna merge with Konami, and they're gonna make pachinko games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mobile games.
Sega's like, hey, we're doing another Sonic game. I was supposed to go, hell yeah.
Mobile games is where the money is at every year. That's the one platform that brings the most money in every single year. It's mobile.
That platform
Yeah.
is booming.
You know what I could see them doing if they really wanted to push some kind of nuclear button, they could on their way out the door sell all their IPs to somebody.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
guess they could do that.
That'd be pretty ice cold.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it depends on, do you want to go down swinging or do you
Ubisoft
want
isn't going anywhere. No, Ubisoft's not going anywhere.
I don't think so.
They'll get rid of board members before that happens.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is going nowhere. They have worked too hard to get themselves into the position
hope
that they
so.
are to
Yeah.
just go belly up.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I hope they don't get bought out.
Yeah, 'cause I think, as much shit as people give them for downgrading all their games, they're one of the only big publishers that continues to bring us new IPs.
That's true.
Yeah. And their games are still, for the most part, good at launch.
I mean, look at the Division for the first 4 days it was out. It was amazing.
First 4 days.
It was easily
After
the
that-
best game of that week.
It really was, man. Everybody was rocking the Division, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Well, it's when you can get to level 30 in 3 hours, it's hard to keep going back to that game.
My poor cousin hit me up the other day. He said, hey, man, I just picked up the Division. I'm like, oh, Lord, always call me before you make a decision. Take it back. Take it back.
Take it back.
Let's
Save
go
the
back and
receipt.
say, buy us
Save
some
the
more. I
receipt.
regret this decision immediately.
It was a bad choice. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I want to say give a big thank you to Bella and Bmuny who joined us tonight, and Mike as well, who joined us last minute. The three of you, thank you so much for hopping on tonight.
At some point, we better start thanking my wife because she's the one that's allowing me to do this.
Yes. and thank you, Mike's wife.
Thank you, Mrs. Mike.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Mike.
Yeah. So real quick, Bella, why don't you go ahead and plug Real Gaming Media again?
Okay, sure. So for anybody who's familiar with me previously, you're used to me doing a plug for EXL Gaming. We recently decided to merge with Real Game Media, and we felt that Real Game Media actually encompasses what we do most. We're an unbiased media outlet that works 24/7 to ensure that we bring you news all day long, videos, trailers, competitions, anything and everything that you could want, forums, the whole lot. Go to www.realgamemedia.com. Anything and everything that you could need is there. And if it's not, message me on Twitter, and I'll make it happen.
All right, awesome. Bella, you guys sound like a bunch of neutral sympathizers, so.
Neutrals.
Well, we do like a noob newts.
You guys have like 20 staff members now, right?
Oh, well, we have over 20 writers, but then we have a team of YouTubers, a team of Twitch streamers, a social media team, a team of 15 people who work on the Facebook side of things, running our community pages. And so, yeah, when you add everything up together, we're getting close to about a team of 50.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And a partridge and a pear tree.
Bmuny, man, why don't you go ahead and plug Inner Circle, man?
Of course, man. You can catch our mini of podcasts pretty much every day. If you go over to YouTube /TIC podcasts, you'll find our bevy of podcasts. The Inner Circle podcast happens every Friday at 9 p.m. And then you can also hit us on the website at www.ticgn.com, where we have all our lovely gaming news and interviews and things like that. So check us out.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And Mike, last but not least.
I run the Inglorious Neutrals podcast. The original Next Level Gaming podcast runs. I'm the late night Friday night podcast, 10 p.m. You'll typically find some of the cast of characters below here in that podcast, as I like to bring members of the community in to talk and give some great insight and feedback. We also are ramping up a lot of our content. Got Crazy One, who's making NASCAR Forza videos for me, and I believe I am going to get some European videos soon. I am in talks with a couple guys called the Crazy Finns to hopefully bring some PC content to us, because I'm lacking in the PC side. And I've got a couple other irons in the fire. So keep an eye on the original Next Level Gaming YouTube channel, and check us out. Give us a like, give us a sub, and thanks for having me on, as always, Enrique.
Absolutely,
Should we be
Mike.
concerned by you doing the whole "I am taking over the world" thing with your hands right now?
It's literally just I want to touch my Dreamcast again, and I'm just trying to play it.
Oh boy.
So now there's no, you know what? Honestly, because this shit comes up all the time. There is no wanting to take over the world. As Enrique and Al and Eric and I'm sure Bmuny and you too, Bella. We do this for the joy of what we're doing.
Oh no, I do it for the money. You do it for joy? Fuck. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. I have no higher aspirations. I just enjoy talking with real gamers. I enjoy gaming with real gamers. My friends over at Short Pause, we do a lot of that stuff together. Fame and fortune. If I wanted fame and fortune, I'd go be a movie star.
No, you wouldn't.
Those debonair looks.
Wait for it. Wait.
Oh boy.
Oh god, that's a really bad blue steel. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
But wait,
So funny.
I have green steel.
Now you did say last but least, but he's not last but least. We still have Al's plug to go.
Well,
This is true.
Al is technically
he's Brad.
Al's interesting. Al is
Al's
Al is interesting.
So Al is a co-host here, but he's also a co-host and chat mod for the Super Deformed Gamescast, our sister podcast. But Al, why don't you go ahead and plug Super Deformed Gamescast?
Yeah, sure. So Super Deformed Gamecast airs every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week we have special guest Kyle Bosman, and we may or might not have Michael Huber from Easy Allies. I think he's going to be there. So that's pretty cool. We have a couple other big guests coming on. And that podcast is just another cool place to just hang out and talk games with a great group of people. Very excited. Bella's going to be on next week, so that's awesome. That's news to me today, so that's awesome.
News to me too.
Yeah.
Now, Al, do neutrals go to this podcast?
Well, I hope so. I hope anybody goes to that podcast.
I'm not allowed on there anymore.
Neutrals
because I'm
need
a
not
neutral.
apply.
Yeah.
Hashtag no
need
neutrals
not
allowed.
apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I'm
neutrals
actually gonna tease something. Maybe there'd be a giveaway there. I know there's been some giveaway talk, but I'm just gonna say there's a tease. I'll have a giveaway to do this Thursday.
Awesome.
Substantial giveaway. It's not like a $5 game.
They'll be giving away Neo.
I'll be giving away $2 billion. Asterisk.
$1 million.
Yes.
Oh.
This is actually British sterling. It actually just decreased, so it's only like $10.
So what he's trying to say, people, is he's actually giving away a digital copy of Limbo.
No, I wouldn't do that to anybody. So there might be a giveaway on Thursday.
Limbo is a great game. What are you talking about?
Figure it out. Still, I mean, Limbo is a great game, but it's basically free by now.
It's free right now.
Yeah. So
Oh, Brandon didn't like it.
That was how it was meant to be funny, Mike, like catch up and stuff.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do now.
I get a piece of paper towel and wipe it off.
And speaking of giveaways, we're actually going to be giving away a free copy, one copy of the game Inside next week. We'll have some more details on that giveaway coming up shortly. But tune in. We'll do something next week live. We're doing a giveaway on that game as well. So to everyone in the live chat, thank you for stopping by. Nels Coney, you were funny as shit, by the way, with your Geralt stuff. You're going back and forth with Al. That was actually pretty funny. And to everyone who showed up, thank you. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. You know what I love about it? It's always positive gaming talk. Isn't this crazy fanboy shit going on there? So that's always nice. We always definitely appreciate you guys coming in and just shooting the shit with us. Some of you guys are drinking beer with us, which is cool, because that's what we do here on this podcast. Not everyone does it, but well, I just think it's me and Al.
No, some of us are more sophisticated.
Not this week.
some more sophisticated.
Bella's drinking.
What's going on right now?
Wow.
I have no prior knowledge of this.
Yeah, well, John's trying to come through your window, so
Right into an open window.
It's locked. Trust me, everything's locked.
So, oh my god! So yeah, some of us are drinking beer, and Mike does on occasion too. So, everyone on the panel, thank you again. I appreciate your time. I love having you guys on. This was great. Had a great time to shoot this shit with you guys and talking video games. You know, so
Always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, and Bella, we'll have to get you back on. I know you're on holiday for next couple weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, at least 3 weeks. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we'll have to figure something out. Maybe get you back on again before you get back to work and everything. Get back to the grind.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you need me to write your agenda for you again, feel free to hit me up.
I'm gonna be so mean.
No, she's Tiger got out of the
I'm
cage.
not mean. I'm just blunt. There's difference.
Oh, that's a very thin line sometimes. Let me tell you.
Bmuny, man, as always, man. Thank you, bro. We love having you on, man.
Oh, anytime, man. You guys are like the brothers, that I don't have.
I'd invite you on the NLG, but apparently you come on the same night as I do.
Well, every so often, we skip a Friday, so I'm always willing to come down and talk video games, man. So anytime I'm not on, man, I'll be more than happy to stop by NLG and
we'll get you on. We'll get you in there.
All right.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
Bella, unblock Frankie. You haven't blocked. Frankie's a good guy.
Yeah, Frankie's.
Who's Frankie?
Yeah, Viper Strike. You haven't blocked.
Yeah, you haven't blocked? Why would you
I haven't blocked? I can tell you is for a good reason. I don't block people for no reason whatsoever. Who am I unblocking? And who is this person? And why am I unblocking them?
Sniper Strike, because he's
Viper
a good
Strike.
dude.
Good dude.
It was probably a misunderstanding.
Probably was.
That's how it all happened.
They could
Right
do
now?
that. Well, guys, message me after the podcast. We'll figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, so, all right, everyone. Thank you again. Everyone on the panel, much appreciated. Al, Eric, as always, thank you for joining me.
If we elongate this ending out,
I know.
This is what he does. He feels like he just can't get let go. He has to have this long hug. Maybe if we all chant together, be rap, like help him feel a little bit more fulfilled.
Neutral in the north.
All right, everyone. The inglorious neutrals are signing off tonight. Thank you again for everyone for stopping by. Hey, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're working on having some industry guests coming on shortly as well. We'll have some more news about that. And hey, remember, gamers, to game on, but more importantly, have fun doing so, because that's what gaming is all about, having fun.
Just have fun.
Yeah, not arguing.
filthy neutrals.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So, good night, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
Hashtag proud to be neutral.
Thank you, Bella.
I'm going to do hashtag teraflop from the top turnbuckle.
Oh,
Yeah. My macho man.
Scorpion sting, watch out. Right in the hand.
Scorpion
Game of
death
consoles.
drop.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Fuck your couch.
Neon Scorpion. Everywhere.
Yeah. Scorpio, what?
You don't
Okay.
buy a Scorpio, I'll break your back.
Yeah. Good night.
Night.